right, we're live. Hello, everybody. My name is Andrew Spearin. I am a producer with On Target Simulations, bringing you a first look at Flashpoint Campaigns Cold War with a gameplay live stream. And today, I have a trusty sidekick, my 2IC for this operation, Gary. Say hello, Gary.
Hello, Andrew. How you doing?
Not bad. This is the first time I've live streamed in maybe a decade, honestly. Like, it's been a long time. I was a Twitch pioneer with Insurgency, doing those every week, but I'm excited to be back here. And yeah, let's see who's watching as well. I think Bad Optics is here. He's one of our beta testers. I know a lot of the team is here. Kevin's here. Rob's probably tuning in as well. So yeah, on behalf of the entire OTS team, just want to say hello and welcome. And we're excited to give you a sneak preview to Flashpoint Campaigns Cold War. It's coming November 20th, if you didn't catch that, on Steam, on the Matrix Store. So enough of my mug. Let's transition into the game itself here and get going. So, big beautiful logo. Thanks to the Southern Matrix, graphics department there for giving us some killer branding. But yeah, today we're going to run through a scenario, and I'll answer your questions if you have them in the chat. And maybe Gary, if you can take a look at that chat, keep an eye on there. And oh, Jim's there too. I see. Hey, Captain Darwin. Audio's a little low. Okay, I can boost it a wee bit, and maybe I'll drop the music. I might drop Gary's voice a little bit too. So let me know if if that's all good. Anyway, without further ado, why don't we dive in? So we're going to be playing through a scenario today, and it's called Return to Fulda. And so I'll take you through, basically, if you're brand into this game, this franchise, I'm going to walk you through what it's like to play Flashpoint campaigns. So if you're a veteran of the series, welcome back. You probably have lots of questions on what is different, what is new from Southern Storm, and I'm happy to answer those, and Gary too. I'm sure you know those little details, but yeah, all right. So let's jump in to a new scenario here. I'm going to take it fresh. So while I'm on this screen, I should point out we have over 100 scenarios in this game, and most of those are standalones, but we have as well 10 campaigns with several scenarios in each. So right now we're looking at them organized when World War III has started. So in Flashpoint campaigns, our Third World War started on July 20th, 1989, and so that is D+0. That is when the Soviets invaded the inner German border, and NATO had to stand to and get their defenses up. So we're actually going to pick a scenario here that is a little down through the war on D+9. We're going to look at Return to Fulda. So Fulda, if you're not familiar, is a town where the famous Fulda Gap is in Germany. So that was an infamous sort of location where NATO and the Americans expected the Soviet invasion to happen, and so it's quite an iconic element. But yeah, Gary, do you have a favorite map so far?
This one is close. It's got a lot of variety. I like maps that are wide, east and west, to give lots of options.
Yeah, a lot of height variety here. A few roads to quickly get through, but all right, how about I read out our description here, and then we'll dive in. So Return to Fulda, D+9. It's 29 July 1989, 0400 hours to 1100 hours. We are the United States against the Soviet Union. So NATO's counterattack has begun. So after the initial Soviet invasion, NATO here is counterattacking and had a successful attack at Nydia. From there, the 3rd Armored Division advanced towards Schoten and were able to break through the Soviet line early on 20th July. After securing Lauterbach, the U.S. 3rd Armored Division tasked the 2nd Battalion, 32nd Armored Regiment to advance southeast to reclaim Fulda. So we'll be planning and organizing the 32nd Armored Regiment here on this counterattack. The Soviets were not prepared for the counterattack and had few forces in place to react to this threat. They were unable to seal the gap, and their forces arrived too late at Schoten. In Fulda, a single BTR company from the 243rd Motor Rifle Regiment was recuperating from their previous losses and suddenly needed to defend the river crossings. They are not prepared to stop the American spearhead, but luckily for them, the reinforcements are on the way. The 244th Guards Motor Rifle Regiment was recovering south of Fulda, and now are on the move north to assist. The war is returning to Fulda with a vengeance. The scenario is by Mike Johnston, map by David Witt. It's 7 hours of game time. It's obviously not going to take us 7 hours, hopefully. But let's get into the setup here. So when you go into a scenario, you can choose if you're playing against a computer, you can do a head-to-head, play by email, or you can actually watch the computer play both sides, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be NATO today, and we're going to set it to preset is the veteran difficulty, so we don't see where the enemy's at, we don't get emergency resupply, but we do get to see where the victory point locations are, because if in a harder mode you can uncheck that and actually not even see what the condition is, so a little more fog of war there. Alrighty, let's load up the map and the scenario. I'll just take a quick look at the chat and see if anyone has any questions outstanding before we
You
dive
have been
in.
asked if you have Winthrop Hackett's World War III on your shelf behind you.
No. John Winthrop? No. I've got... Oh, no. Yeah, Hackett. Yeah. I've got Untold Story right up here. Yep, that one. And next to Hunter Red October. I found that at a used bookshop not too long ago. But yes, a lot of these books came straight from Rob Crandall's library as well, on loan to me for some research. So yeah, lots of reference material on hand here. Alrighty. Yeah, keep... oh, Gary's a bit quiet. I'm going to boost the audio again, Gary, just so we don't have the music on anymore. So hopefully it'll come in loud and clear. Get a radio check.
Okay.
Yeah, is that better?
Check.
Yeah, I think that's probably better. Alrighty. I've turned off the background ambient sound as well, so there is a little more audio in the game when you play it. But yeah, so let's, without further ado, jump in here. So right off the bat, we have we are a Lieutenant Colonel Ritter, Victory or Death, 32nd Armored Regiment, and 2nd Battalion, 32nd Armored Regiment, I should say. Again, did a research, figured out who came into that battalion at that time, and put that little detail in here. So we are at Return to Fulda scenario, commanding NATO forces and have 7 hours to accomplish the tasks described in our mission briefing. So I'll go through those windows in a little bit. Our forces are composed of 16 groups of units, extensive descriptions of which are found in operations, personnel logistics, and fire support staff reports. Information about the opposing forces available from the Intel staff report. So all those reports are accessible on the right side here in our little Command HQ menu, those buttons, and we'll dive into those as we need them. Winning. We are responsible for assets worth 36,505 victory points, and I'll explain victory points in a little bit when we can take a look at the situation here. But victory is obtained by securing the VP locations, so that's these, the Soviets control these 5 victory point locations right now. It's objectives in and around Fulda, and we need to capture those to gain some VP. A victory obtained at excessive cost may be severely downgraded, but we need to secure those and inflict disproportionate casualties on the enemy. So we'll check the victory status and conditions report for victory level details as we go. Alrighty, let's proceed. And yeah, Gary, if any other questions, it's
Well, the important thing about this scenario is not just to take the critical intersections in Fulda, but to get into blocking positions on the roads to the south to be able to address the Soviet reinforcements when they arrive.
Right. So as I adjust my command map here, in the bottom right we have the little mini-map window, and we can click on these buttons to toggle. I've set it to fit the window so we can get a nice overall picture of the battlefield here. And as you mentioned, Gary, yeah, so let's hop open our operations menu, is it? And we can get our mission briefing. So we try to model the, sort of, I guess it's a 3-point memo here, memorandum format, as you might receive a warning order or a memo in the war zone here. So it gives a little more background information, which we know, but our mission is to seize objective Corn, because that's what we're calling Fulda these days. And we have some attachments and detachments. So fire support, we have the 2nd Battery 3rd Field Artillery, supporting throughout, which is great. Artillery support is essential, especially on an offensive attack. We want to soften up those defenses. We have some aviation support, 2 observation helicopter sections, and 4 attack helicopters. Excellent. Those are some of my favorite assets to use in this game. We also have air support. 4 F-15 aircraft are on station in pairs starting at 0630. So that's about 2.5 hours into our battle here. We'll get some air support to call in. Hopefully supporting ground forces. Alrighty, so the rest of it kind of goes over what the victory point locations are worth, where they're at, victory conditions. So let's take a look at that before we move on. I'd like to explain how scoring works in this game, because that's essential to developing a successful plan. So if we clicked on the SI scenario information menu, it brings up your scenario description again, and then victory status and conditions tab. But also, if I just close this real quick, I just rediscovered I can click on this little colored bar here. This is the status of victory. So all the scenarios, you're going to start off in a contested state. So each team starts off with some even balance, but as you can see, it's not an even balance percentage wise. It's not a 50-50 ratio of victory points. There's a calculation done, and based on we have more points at the start in terms of our forces, and so all the units cumulatively will add up to this number, 36,000, and the Soviet force is worth 23 and change, and that does include the VP location. So overall, for us to get a marginal win in this scenario, we need to get 68% of the victory points. So how do we do that? Well, we can capture the objectives, but every time we destroy the enemy units, they are going to lose VP. So it's sort of their scenario total VPs will be going down as we kill them, and ours will go down, of course. If we lose an Abrams, it's like 300 points. It's quite a big loss. So that really helps encourage force preservation here. We want to make sure that we are not just throwing units at the objective until we capture them. We actually have to value their lives. All right, anything to add, Gary, on that? Any strategies that we should look at when it comes to assessing how we approach this?
Not really. The eastern part of the map is the domain of the Soviet artillery. I seldom get units back there except for helicopters. That might be fun to try to exploit.
Okay, yeah, that's a very likely place for their artillery. So speaking of the enemy, we have a threat assessment here. So I've opened up the intelligence staff report over here, and we get a sense here of where the enemy could be approaching. So they have some defensive locations in Fulda proper, and then their reinforcements are going to come up from the south center here. And so we need to be very mindful of that with our counterattack to make sure we set up a blocking force to cut off those reinforcements. So it's a little bit of a bridge too far type scenario here for the Soviets. They're in Fulda. It looks like they're holding some bridges with a very light force, and the cavalry is trying to come save the day. But meanwhile, our cavalry is stationed up here in the northwest part of the map. So let's take a look at what we have at our disposal here and think of our plan. So planning. That's the point of this game. We want to make sure we set up a good plan. You give your orders, you set your standard operating procedures, and then we will watch the battle proceed after we hit start. And every 21 game minutes, we're going to get a chance to replan again, issue new orders, and set off again. But during that 21-minute window, our forces are going to be engaged. They'll be moving, and we won't be able to pause and tell them to, oh no, stop moving into that artillery hex. They will just, unfortunately, take it. So, and the Soviets here have a 35-minute cycle. So these command cycles vary depending on a lot of factors, including electronic warfare, including how many units, how many HQs are on the battlefield at any one time, to simulate the lag and delay between actual issuing orders on the battlefield. So very detailed system there. But let's take a look at our order of battle. So at the moment, we don't have all of our force yet here. So we have some armored cavalry units up here, some reconnaissance, and if we double click on the units here, I'm just going to, you know what, I'm going to take away my camera just so I'm not blocking any of the battle here. We can see the information on that unit. So we're looking at American Reconnaissance section, and if you click on subunits tab, is always the best. We get the silhouettes of exactly how many units are in this icon. So you can see in our little icon, we've got a 4 at the bottom left here. That means there's 4 subunits in this unit, I guess. So if you want even more detail on, for example, a Bradley, you can always click on there, and we can see, for example, this unit, this one Bradley, is worth 179 VP. So if we lose that Bradley, we lost 179 overall points, and we're losing that ratio of the battle. So we want to definitely preserve our forces here. We can also get a sense for which weapons they have, so 25mm chain gun, and of course the TOW's anti-tank guided missile. Those are quite essential and do a lot of damage on this battlefield.
As a comparison, why don't you jump over to an M1 to show how many points that is?
Good call. Let's see. Our M1A1
So
Abrams, 391.
179 to
391. So yeah, those Abrams are extremely valuable. We can't just throw them into the fray without being a little careful here. So, all right. So we have, and if you want to know what other forces are at our disposal, because we can go through the spotlight here. I'm just going to take away the bottom portion, hit F10 there. We can see who's on the battlefield. Oops. But we've got these grayed out units as well. So if we want to know, okay, when is Bravo coming in to the battle here, we have this PL, Personnel and Logistics Report. So if we click on that tab, open this up, and all these windows are draggable, by the way. I love that about this game. Right now I'm crowding them over my map, but I always use 2 monitors, and you can move these into the second monitor and have them open as you go, which is very, very handy. So if we go to reinforcements and withdrawals, we'll see that arriving in 30 minutes time, we've got all these rest of these ground units, and it looks like some Kiowa scout helicopters are coming in, help with the reconnaissance. And then further down the line, we've got, for example, our air support coming. We've got our Apaches coming in. Those are going to be great. And yeah, so we can always take a look at all these detailed reports throughout these menus as we go. Okay, so let's zoom back out a wee bit and think about our plan here, Gary. So to IC, how do you think we should proceed? What would you advise we...
Well, the main approach to Fulda is obviously a killing ground for the Soviets. So artillery saturation there as we advance from cover to cover will be critical. Getting forward observers north of Fulda and also south of Fulda will also be critical, so we can hit the Soviet units when we have them spotted.
Agreed, yeah. I think we definitely want to exploit this river valley here with the ability to flank around to the north and maybe come in crossing the river up here without having to be under fire, because inevitably they're going to be defending these bridges where these objectives are. Yeah, and then we definitely got to be mindful of this southern approach, right? This is where their reinforcements are going to be coming up. So I think it's about a company's worth of troops around Fulda. So that doesn't sound like much, but we can't underestimate them at all. And then a whole regiment's going to be coming up. Motorized Rifle Regiment is going to be coming up from the south. So they might even split their force as they do in their doctrine. So we've got to be mindful of everywhere. Watch our flanks. But first of all, let's do some reconnaissance. So we've got our armored recce here. Sorry, recon. I'm Canadian, so we say recce, you say recon.
You can be Canadian, you're allowed.
Oh, okay, phew. All right. So let's, honestly, I think we should spread these guys out. We'll want to scout out this river approach. We'll...
in answer to a question in chat, the only infantry we have are the light recon forces. We don't have any heavier infantry on the way.
We do, actually. We have a few subunits. Well, we've got one here. This is armored mechanized infantry. 2 squads of 4 Bradleys, so that's interesting. But then I thought we get a little bit. Not a whole lot, but certainly a handful.
That's the trouble with engaging with the recon forces. You take one hit, you've lost 25% of your capacity.
Yeah, true. Well, I guess these are only a couple squads within these units. Okay. But they'll need to clear out that city, that's for sure. I was infantry once upon a time, so to storm those buildings, you can't. Well, I guess you could level a building with a tank, but you got to get in and clear those rooms. All right. So first and foremost, reconnaissance. So let's send this unit up the river valley, and maybe kind of hang out in these outskirts, maybe in these hills. So to move a unit, we're going to move one unit right now. We just right click on there and we can issue some orders. So we've got these three orders here for movement. One is move hasty, move deliberate, and assault. Well, we're not assaulting yet, but we move deliberate is a more careful stance. It does also take longer, but at this point, we might have an advantage of low light. I'm going to move hasty, and we know that those reinforcements are coming a little bit later, so I think we need to seize the momentum that we have right now. So we'll move hasty. If we do come under attack, that will put us in a less good position. But you know what? Actually, I'm going to cancel this because these blue areas mean I can move this unit. So these are setup areas, and anywhere that's blue right now, this reconnaissance force can be moved to. So if I wanted to move these guys out over here, that sort of thing, we can. And every sort of unit group of units on the battle here. So the artillery has a different setup area. These tanks and these tanks have different setup areas as well. So be mindful of that. So if we want to send this guy north, we'll move hasty. Now I can place, I think it's 6, yeah, maximum 6 waypoints. So let's put one down there, one up here, Camerzell, and let's park them right in the outskirts. Hit commit, and it gives us an option to issue some orders on arrival. So we can either hold, we can screen, or resupply. Well, we don't need to resupply yet. The difference between a hold order and a screen order, that actually makes quite a difference when it comes to issuing your future orders. So if we want to, and we most likely will, move this reconnaissance unit again shortly after arrival, we'll probably want to set up a screen order because they'll take cover, but they'll be prepared to move, versus a hold where they will start digging in and defending in place. So let's hit a screen, and our fancy pathfinding there is setting us up through the woods and down the woods and not along the road. So
what's our default SOP for that unit?
Exactly. So SOP, Standard Operating Procedures, is a big feature in this game, and if you're familiar with Southern Storm, don't worry, SOPs are greatly improved thanks to our beta tester feedback and our developers. Kevin, big shout out to him for working on this SOP manager. He's in the chat, Sergeant Z Dog, or I think he would pronounce it Z Dog. So anyway, we can change SOPs either on the order itself or in general. So as we are looking through here, these are the order sequence. So for every waypoint, we have a different order. Move hasty, move hasty, move hasty, move hasty, and screen. So if we go to the first one, you can check your SOPs by clicking on the SOP here. So right now it's set to HQ, hide in place. If we open that up, we can kind of quickly see, oh, this is what they're doing. So right now their movement preference is to concealment. So it's actually hopping off the road and staying in the trees to be concealed. But if we order SOP, edit order SOP, and we go to move hasty, and if we want to apply this change to all of our future orders, we're going to want to check that box as well. And while I'm at it, I think I want to change these SOPs for all of my reconnaissance units in this group. Is it a troop? I think it's a troop. I'm infantry, so I should know all the armored stuff. But anyway, so we're going to change a bunch of these settings, and we're going to apply them also to our other recon units and all of these future orders. So you can actually just change it just for this specific order and get very granular there. But anyway, so I'm going to take down the standoff range because I don't want them driving away from the enemy. Standoff range is set also relocate based on what the relocate is. So if we received any fire, they would relocate, but standoff range is if they see the enemy and previously it was 3 hexes away. If it got to 2 hexes, they're going to move so that you're always 3 hexes away. But right now, I'm just going to keep it as 0. Fire discipline, we've got maximum range. So as soon as they see the enemy, if they're within maximum range, they will fire. You can tell them to refuse fire, hold until fired on, and assign point blank up to max. So we're going to keep max, relocate when any fire. What do you think, Gary? Should we relocate these guys or should we keep them just in place even if they're taking fire?
I'm kind of a stickler for holding position. It seems like unproductive casualties occur when you relocate, so I try to avoid that, even at the risk of um, a hot corner, as it were.
True. Well, I like to set it to after indirect fire losses because then they're not running away if they're in a fight. But if you start taking artillery, get out of there. But okay, let's see the chat. Bad Optics is recommending at least one hex during movement. Okay, let's set a one hex. There you go. And concealment. This is why I even came here. I'm going to uncheck concealment because that is what sent us off the road and sort of slow down our timings. So if we notice right now, 0432 is the estimated time to get there at our final waypoint. Let's hit apply and then we'll see that change. But also before I do that, I want to dismount my recon troops at least one hex from the end of the path and the enemies so that they dismount one hex away from their arrival. And also I'm going to support passengers with those IFVs because those Bradleys are very deadly. All right, so now that I've got the SOPs to what I want it to be, I can hit apply, and this pop-up is going to bring up all of the reconnaissance units. These are not necessarily all the reconnaissance units we want to apply these to, so I'm going to click this little invert button, uncheck there, and get these ones checked off. So these scouts, and oh, you know what? This is an HQ unit, so it's actually showing my HQ units. Anyway, okay. So I don't think it's going to apply to the other guys, but just this one for now. But yeah, now we see that route has gone onto the road. That's what I was expecting. That's where I want to go. So we're good to go. So I'm going to close that out. Been talking a lot. So that's our first reconnaissance, and he's our HQ. Now I'm going to also show a very handy feature. There's a lot of different overlays, so information that we can see um, what's going on with these units. So up at the top, unit overlay, line of sight. I almost always have this enabled. This will show us the green hexes now are where this unit can see and shoot at. And it goes up to their range, which we can also see with range rings. So the effective range is 4,750 meters, max range is 6,800 meters, and we've also got so many other range rings here. So spottable, so it can be seen from that range, and commands. This is an HQ one. It can command its units within a 2,500 meter radius. So that is always useful. Now let's set up our next reconnaissance. So I dropped these hexes kind of where I think we're gonna spread out these recon troops because we want to scout the north. Probably our main approach here, where we can send an armored element down the main road, and we've got another one to kind of go west in these hills, overlooking Fulda, and kind of watching our flanks. And then, you know, Gary, I'm gonna do a bold move. I'm gonna send. This is our forward observer. He's got a Humvee and a forward observer team. So he's hard to spot, but he can be a canary for us. So I'm going to send him all the way down to this approach to Romer's area and see if they can just be a canary in a coal mine here and tell us when those Soviet armor is advancing up. And maybe we'll be able to send some reinforcements down there to help if they need it. So anyway, that's my overall plan here for our reconnaissance. So let's send this guy. Move hasty. Now let's just park him up in these trees. Overlook. Don't want to go too far, too fast, but just enough that we can get some eyes on. But if you want to see what view this unit will have on that second waypoint, if you hold down shift and click on that hex, we now get what the line of sight and the ranges will be from that location. So that is extremely helpful if you're trying to plan, say if I wanted them up here, where can we get a good view over Fulda, that sort of thing. So I think this is a good spot up here for now, at least what we can't see in this defilade down here, but at least we can kind of cover the approach. Maybe if there's anyone parked on those hills, something like that. So we're good to go there. Let's move our next armored reconnaissance unit. So we're going to move hasty. I guess I'll just send them down this road out to here. And let's see.
One thing I always think is if I were defending, would I have a defending unit sitting there? So I would not go to that hillock. I'm sure there's something at one of those two mounts.
Okay, well, I will commit to here, and we can screen from this location and see if anyone. Cause yeah, well, we can see at least one of those hills. Yeah, so thanks, Gary, for wearing the red hat. That's good too. I see. Trying to think, what's the enemy always doing? Alrighty, so let's send this lone Humvee down south.
Cue Benny Hillbillies theme.
But you know what? Let's cut across here to Geisel and maybe up and park at this tree line here. I'm not going to send them all the way down the valley, but be a little cautious here just to clear out this route and commit and screen on location. Alrighty, so it's looking like those SOPs are going as expected, following the road, and that will be how long will that take? Only 18-minute drive. All right. Great. So we've got our reconnaissance plan set up, and another little shortcut overlay here is at the bottom left we have LOS is enabled ranges and paths. So if I click on it, paths, it'll show all of the unit paths. So this is a good way to kind of, I use this all the time just so I can make sure, oh yeah, did I give these units orders? Yep, okay, these guys are all set. Good, so we can move on. So why don't we position artillery? What do you think, Gary? Are they in a good location here? Or we can...
They can hit the whole board, right?
Maybe not quite the entire... No, not quite the entire way. So this is the max range of these M109s.
Well, we don't have any intel. I think we should get off some salvos and then move them.
Agreed. Yeah, we can at least get some rounds down range if we need to support immediately, and then we have an effective range here, so maybe we can move them up a little later, kind of leapfrog, get them more within effective range as we know where they are. Bad Optics is whispering, make sure to show this spottable from tool. You know what? I don't use that much, so thank you for the reminder. Where's that one? All spottable from? No. Oh, here. Spottable from. So I guess this is where, if somebody is in these orange hexes, they'll be able to see you, and by what degree. So 96 obviously has 96% chance that they can see you from that next hex over. So very good. Thank you, Bad Optics. All right. Next up, we can start moving our armor. So we have these two troops that we can get going. Attached to them as well are some more for observers. So I think I'm going to move them maybe independently of the rest of the units in this troop. So since we have this northern armor on this main road, I think we can continue to move them down. Maybe park them in this little defilade here before they reach the ridgeline. Don't want to silhouette on the horizon there.
How about further back, like 4 hexes in Bilbach? Is that what that is?
Okay, yeah, we can keep them in there.
11.
Yeah, you know what?
Because
it's a good
we're
point.
Not gonna, yeah, we're not gonna really be able to see that much into the future anyway. So if we move them as a column to Bilbach, then next command cycle we can do something with them.
Very true, and I'm forgetting what I was saying. Maybe we can move them up and flank from the north. That might be the best use of this force here. So, but for now, let's move the observer at least. I think we could park them up on this hill. We're going to have one scout down here, but let's see. Will they have a decent view? I need to turn line of sight back on. Yeah, I can see a little bit, but maybe a bit better than they could down here. So let's move that observer first. Move hasty. I'm just going to click right on there and see how our pathfinding does. Okay, screen. Okay, not bad. It's kind of doing a weird hook around here. But why don't we...
Interesting. It's this deciding not to use the bridge.
Right, yeah. Well, it's probably because it's also got conceal SOP enabled at being a sort of a reconnaissance. So another way to access that, and I think Kevin was pointing this out, is there's also presets for SOPs. So you can group the SOPs based on these presets, or you can adjust them, even fine tune them from here. So if it's movement preferences, don't care about concealed, and apply. Well, now they're going to take that route. So that might be a little too aggressive.
Yeah, that's too
It's like,
exposed.
whoa, hello, I'm just going to show you my rear here and drive up this hill, take a shot. Um, and they're on recon, sit and observe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel this order because if I delete that order, hit apply, it's going to remove that one waypoint. And what would be a smarter approach here is actually giving a couple more waypoints. So let's waypoint, 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 commit, screen. It's still going to take us the same way, but what we can do now is fine tune these orders so that move hasty is going to be this particular order. Not all of them will use the concealment. So if I apply that, now that's a bit more of a reasonable approach, right? They're going to get off the road, take the tree line up there into place. So that is a great example of how we can, fine tune these orders to get the desired route that we need to get them there. We could switch this also to a move deliberate order, but that will take a little bit longer. I'm curious how much longer that would be. Oh, not much. Okay, because they're already moving, they're just going to increase their stance. So they're going to be a little more aware, keep their head on a swivel, and get there on the same timing. So let's do that.
We
Alrighty.
should probably also point out that these moves are not robotic. The game assumes that the commander in that unit might decide from point 2 to point 3, well, I think we need to go slightly off our planned path at this moment.
Right.
So there's a little bit of autonomy.
For sure. Alrighty. So now let's move our armor up, and so far we've just been moving every unit one by one, but we should probably take a look at group formations. So that's a new feature here with Cold War versus Southern Storm. So I'm going to highlight or select all these units in this group just by holding down Control and clicking. Now it's going to give me that forward observer, so I'm going to hold Shift and click on them to deselect that one unit, but I'm maintaining now the rest. So if we do right click, move as formation, column hasty, let's move them up here. Now when I commit this, it's going to probably create more waypoints as it calculates going in there. But we can fine tune now each unit. So if we want the HQ, and we can move them right up because we've got bigger setup areas, so why not? That waypoint is down there, so let's pull that out. Let's move their secondary location there. I'm going to move up our tanks here. 1, 2, but let's move them just an additional hex up. Let's move this guy. Waypoint, waypoint. Stick them in Bimbak proper. And then finally, our last tank unit, which if you have multiple units on one hex, in order to kind of choose one over the other, because right now we've got the forward observer on top. If you just mouse over, this will pop up. You can click on them. They'll jump to the top. So what do I do? I want to move them as well. Let's move them up. Waypoint 1, waypoint 2. Let's put them a little further up the road. Alrighty. So now that we have them all set, I can move this guy up, and he will get there all the way almost sooner. Hopefully. Okay, cool. So now we have that troop good to go. Let's modify our last one. So where should we position this armor to? I see. This could be the start of our sort of western blocking force. So we could either move them down this road where we're scouting or follow the observer. We could do something bold and send them all the way down.
I would say I would say just move them to a midway point and maybe leave a decision whether to commit them north or south
Good
for the
call.
next turn.
Yes, that's a smart move. So Geisel, let's put them in there in this little valley because we could either commit them south or we could commit them east towards Fulda, depending on how our northern approach is going.
I wouldn't drop them all the way down there because that veil would be a nice kill zone to have units around.
Hmm.
So you might expect hostile forces there. For the record, I
Yeah.
do not have the game open on another screen.
Oh, okay, good. All right. Well, let's move our forward observer first. Let's get them moving. Hasty. I think we can set them up maybe down this road and up here. Screen. But I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll just leave that as is. I think that'll be okay. There's another option though. You know what? Okay, yeah. Let's change our last movement here. Just to show our other preference. So you can either choose roads, so they'll stick to the roads, concealment as they are now. You can uncheck that. I just want to see what happens if we uncheck it. Not much. And then direct path. So on this final 3 to 4 waypoint here, if I do direct path, it's going to be a bit more of a up the hill and over rather than kind of around. So that's better than kind of going through the trees instead of exposing themselves again. So, alrighty, close that out. Let's select our, well, before I select it, let's move that out of the way. I'm just going to throw all these tanks on top of each other and see what happens. Going to hit control, click, control, click, no, control, click. Why is it not selecting them all? Okay, that's weird. It's not selecting them all now. But anyway, I'll hold shift and click them all individually. And let's right click, move his formation, call him hasty. And yeah, let's send them down here and across into Geisel, and we'll arrange them throughout, being prepared to move either east or south depending on what situation the ground dictates here. So first unit is our, looks like a bit of infantry, I guess, reconnaissance. So let's stick them up a little further. Tanks. I'm going to stick them in this little defilade reverse slope, so if anything does come down here, they will walk straight into an Abrams or drive. Most likely drive. And then stick stick that one up there. And our HQ, let's stick right into the town. So if you want to help decide where to stick a unit, if you just mouse over a hex, it will give you this information. So I'm always looking at the cover and the concealment. So there's 92% concealment here, 67% cover. That is good. So cover, what's the difference, Gary, between cover and concealment?
As I'm watching an ad disappear. Hold on a second.
Oh, okay. Well, concealment's going to hide you, but it's you can still get shot through concealment. Cover can stop a bullet. Thanks, Bad Optics. All right. Okay, I think we're all set here with the units on the board. Just artillery we're leaving in place. Last thing I'll just point out about artillery is we have 3 units here. One says O, O, and C. So O means on call, so the current order is right now it's on call. So throughout the battle, if a unit spots an enemy, the fire support controller can call in a barrage without intervention, player intervention. So I can't pause and I can't order it, but it will order it automatically, which is great. This C1 is actually counter battery. So what we have on our team here is a weapons locating radar. So this is another new feature if you're not familiar with Cold War's new stuff. This is weapons locating radar, and it's detecting through its radar detection. I believe it's audio. I don't know if it's seismic or not. I know Jim would be like, these are the exact sensors, and it will listen for enemy artillery firing. It will pinpoint those locations, and it will call in a counter battery fire mission on that location if it's within range of our artillery. So very helpful. Again, that can just happen as it during our time cycle. We don't have to intervene. So, all right, without further ado, let's play our first cycle here. It's probably going to go really quick. 21 minutes of game resolution about to commence. Now we'll take a look at the chat. Frosty Robot asks, how many new features does Cold War have? Is it worth playing the previous two first or wait until Cold War? Well, that's a great question. I have the store pages open that I can just take a look at. But we definitely have a lot more in terms of content with this version of Cold War. So all these Southern Storm scenarios and maps are integrated into Cold War as well, but it vastly expanded. We have dozens of maps. We have over 100 scenarios this time around. So yeah, it's quite hefty in the content department. In terms of features, I've been highlighting some of them. The SOP system is new, at least the management of it is vastly updated. The group formations is brand new, and yeah, so I'm sure there's many more. Gary, do you have any other off the top of your head that are new features?
Well, I went back to play Southern Storm to see what the differences were, and Cold War is so much more comfortable from a player experience point of view. Is it worth going back and playing them? I mean, I don't want to tell you not to play them, but everything that Southern Storm does, Cold War does better.
Right. Yeah.
And you have access to all the same scenarios.
Yeah, I think that I'd echo that. That's pretty fair assessment there. I'm relatively new to the series.
We forgot to give orders to artillery.
Well, they already have orders. They're on call. We got a counter battery. They're not doing anything.
I would have decimated a bunch of hilltops by now.
Yeah?
Just because.
Oh, I'm way more conservative with my artillery. I don't want to just because anyone. I want to hold those rounds for when I see them on time or on target. That's artillery's motto. But already. So yeah, but I'm relatively new to the series, honestly. I played a little bit of Southern Storm, and then I jumped right into Cold War. So for me, it's hard to talk off the top of my head of what Southern Storm compares to. But I come a lot from more of a RTS, RTT background, and I'm relatively new to war games as well. But as I get older, I find time for gaming is a lot harder. So what I appreciate about this game especially is I can save this game and then head out to the menu and come back to it again. Like you can chip away at a scenario, or you can sit and play through it and have it done in a couple hours, which is great. So yeah, alrighty. Let's take a look at where we're at here. So we have our armor cavalry is coming through here. I wonder if we should actually adjust this waypoint to the high ground. That would probably make more sense. We haven't received any contact yet, so I'm thinking it can be a little bold here. And yeah, we'll get a better sense.
That kind of surprises me.
Well, remember, it's only about a company's size strength within Fulda. There's barely anybody in there, so we can push a little bit until advance to contact, right? And then we'll maneuver. So yeah, I'm gonna stick them up there. We've got this observer in place. He hasn't spotted anything yet. This reconnaissance up here, also not spotted anything. I'm wondering, it's risky. I wonder if they would risk putting anyone in Mabrazel, or if we just push up a little bit more. Yeah, might get some eyes on. Well, maybe I'll wait another turn cycle, another 20 minutes or so, see how things go. But at this point, the light's pretty low. Well, it's not that low, actually. It's 4:21 in the morning. Illumination's at 80%. We can see up to 7.5 kilometers. So, and they can see us too. So, alrighty. And then this armor is still a little bit on the move. We'll let them be. And how's our southern flanking doing? Well, yeah. See, this guy got all the way down there that fast. One Humvee. Nothing spotted. We'll just have that sentry hang out. Actually, I'm going to switch this to a hold order. Advantage of that as well is the spottable range goes way down because as you're digging in, less likely they're going to spot you. So if we keep them up there, we
You
should be
know,
good.
if you if you take them off the road and put them on that high ground, then if Soviet recon passes through them, they won't be discovered and they can keep their observation point.
That's true. Um, this high ground has like no cover, but
I wouldn't
this
be afraid of
one,
that.
no, I would. The 100, man.
And if they're dug in, they're not. Their profile's going
Okay.
to be small.
You'll be writing their letter back home. All right, I'll
I'll
stick them
print
up
out some
there.
forms.
All right, you're doing the paperwork on this one. All right. Um. Okay, they're still moving. We've got this cab up here. Now you're predicting there's gonna be enemy on these hills here, but we've got nothing so far. I feel like they would have seen us by now. Why don't we wait out on that too? Okay. Well, not too many moves to do at the moment. Let's just get through our next cycle here. Alright, I'm going to take a quick eye on the chat as we wait for our units to move through. Why don't I hear any movement? I should hear movement.
I think you turned it down when there were audio questions.
Not the game audio. Oh, that cycle went quickly. I heard it initially.
Good.
Let's go to user preferences. Scrolling us down. Wait.
This is a really conservative Soviet defense. I would have certainly expected to run into things already.
This is very undermanned, so I think they're scared. They're trying to hide out. They're waiting for the cavalry to arrive. I think we're gonna have a later engagement here. But meanwhile, we have some reinforcements. So let's take a look at who is now on the board. We've got some reconnaissance, air reconnaissance, Kiowa helicopters here. So those are so fast and effective. There's 2 in each subunit. We have 2 of those, so we can start staging some reconnaissance boxes here with them. I feel like if we start sending them around and through Fulda, we might be able to spot something for artillery to actually start erupting. So let's move deliberate because I want them to be a little careful. Why don't we take them up through this river valley again and maybe just... Ooh, that might be a little much. Let's stick them up over here. I'm going to hit screen on there, and I'm just going to adjust this. I don't like them being that close. We're gonna ease our way into there. And where's my other one? Oh yeah, up here. Oh, I should have sent him up there. Oh well. All right, let's send this one. I feel like we could just, you know what? Let's fly them over these hills. Let's. Are we taking bets?
Yep. Prove
Are they
whether I'm
there?
right. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's do it. And let's go down to Johannesburg. Let's kind of scout. Make sure nobody is down in here. Down here. Let's just sweep that out and go hide in the hills. Alright, so we're covering our northern approach, sort of the western.
What's the SOP on the helicopter?
Good question. Let's see.
I'm curious how far it deviated.
We've got 8 hex. Prefer standoff range.
Okay.
Hit after receiving any fire. Concealment. I think that's decent. I don't want to risk them
it
too
really
much.
wants to stay alive.
Yeah, and I want them to stay alive. They're very valuable to cover a lot of ground here. Soon to be flaming, says Jim. Oh, come on, Jim. You got no faith in my planning? Alrighty. Oh, Kevin is saying, use a spottable from overlay to see how spottable you would be on that hill. That's a good yeah, okay. So if
he was talking about
this one, right?
The one down south, yeah. I guaranteed their safety.
Okay, yeah.
No one's going to bother them. They're fine.
Yeah.
All right. So exactly. If someone drives by on the road,
yeah, they'll probably get seen.
Them,
But we'll see them before they do, right? Because
I think they're in a useful place,
we'll
and
see
I have a
them.
stack of blank letters to send.
Okay, good call. Alrighty. So with our helicopters, we also get this little headquarters. It's little M706 Commando and two Cav Scout teams. So we got some additional cavalry here. Do you think we should support this little lone Humvee down there? That's what I think. He's a little lonely. I'm scared for him. So let's move hasty.
Well,
No?
their their biggest defense is getting out of Dodge if they run into trouble.
Okay.
I think supporting them is sending good money after bad. I would,
Well, we've got a
if you're going to
gap over
send in
here.
support, I would put it in a place where it could divert to multiple areas.
Okay. Well, I'm seeing a gap. We at the eastern edge of this ridge, we don't have anyone. So I think we should send them down there. So I'm going to send them through
Okay.
where we know is safe, and then maybe across to. Let's just stick them on this little ridge for now, and then maybe we can swing them around to get eyes southeast if we need it. But I want to make sure we're covering and clearing out this initial western edge of Fulda, and yeah, make sure we clear that ground because we're gonna have to get across it potentially. Alrighty. Charles the Woods is gonna be slow, says Bad Optics. That's true, or will it? Let's see what our estimates are on here. So it's gonna take an hour to do that. So if we adjust our SOP, that might be risky. So let's go to that third waypoint, move hasty, and if we uncheck concealment, what do we get? Okay, a lot less time, but it's a little risky if they get spotted, but we don't know. At least the Kiowa will get will scout along this path before they even get there, so we'll know if there's any
Well,
enemy. But why don't we? Okay, let's just move them here instead.
if they,
One step at a
if
time.
yeah,
There.
let me see if our briefing said anything about Soviet air defense.
It said there. What did it say? I don't think I read through the whole thing. Okay.
I'm bringing it up. Oh,
So let's check out our intelligence briefing here. Threat assessment. In Fulda, there are elements of a Guards Motor Rifle Company with BTR 70 and a T-64 tank platoon in support. There was an air defense company protecting the bridges, but it is believed that airstrikes around midnight destroyed all of the air defense equipment. I'm
okay.
going to assume that it didn't, because that is what you got to do. Don't underestimate. So there might be air defense equipment. I'm not going to take any assumptions here.
Well,
244th
then,
Motor Rifle Regiment involved. They moved to recovery area, so they'll be moving up, but they're not going to be fully supplied yet. So, but don't underestimate them. So they're expected to arrive in Fulda around 0600. So we still have a couple, less than a couple hours to get in position to block them, if we can, because they're coming up from the south central here. But this is, of course, imperfect intelligence. They could maybe come up these roads, especially maybe the main highway, maybe even try to flank. I don't know. Like you said, there's probably going to be artillery southeast of Fulda, so I wonder if we could leapfrog this guy eventually, if he's fast enough. Get somebody on the other side of the river, see where they're at. But that's also what our Kiowas are for, so. Alright, so we've got them. Okay, so we have two more tank troops to play around with here. This one up north has a bit of infantry with it. So I'd say let's move a group formation. Either we can send both troops up this river valley and down from the north, but I think that might be overcommitting, depending on if there's only a company and a platoon of tanks in Fulda. I think we want to
well,
bulk our force more to the west and south to block the
yeah.
approaching.
If your primary assault is getting into Fulda from the north, we're going to be attacking things from the rear, and then having a force to come in from the western approach at the same time would be useful.
Okay. I'm thinking maybe we set them up sort of in the middle here. If we can get them
Okay. Yep.
down about here into Heimbach and kind of set up and overlook that. This approach while we send our other force north. We can start moving them now. So, okay, let's commit this one. Let's have them screen. Let's make sure we adjust, fine tune these waypoints. This is an infantry unit, so I'm going to hit F4 and we'll have this command menu open here so that we can see what we're doing. So let me get back up into the corner. Our tanks. All right, tanks. Let's set them here. More infantry. I'm going to preserve them. Don't want to die. HQ. Yeah, HQ can hang back there because if we enable our line of sight and our ranges, they can still command all their troops from back there. So, all right. And what's in there? Okay, 2 Bradleys and M13, M113. Okay, cool. So we got
And
that group. Sorry?
just just for the viewers' note,
Mhm.
they're not going to stack up in hex in the 5th waypoint. They will string out in a line
Right.
with a
Yeah.
group move.
By default. Yeah. Set as a column. We could 2 up or we could 3 up them, and then they'll be in a line of hexes, respectively there. But okay, so let's move this northern force. I think we should start our flank. We got to move while we still have the advantage here. So let's do column hasty because we know this route is clear, and maybe end down here. And then we can move our scout up as these guys come down the river valley. So 1, 2, 3. That looks good. Well, you know what? I'm gonna have them cover off for that unit. This one can move up there, and 3rd tank into there. That's a weird way. Why? Okay, let's go that direction. Okay, and then HQ. Also kind of a weird waypoint. I think it's just trying to avoid the traffic jam that might be setting up there. That's why I chose there. But let's put them up into the trees. Or, oh, what's a command range? I could even keep them hang back here. Okay. Don't want to risk our HQs. Alrighty, now we have a mortar platoon with a few tubes in there, and mortars I mostly use for like smoke and nice concealment. I don't think our main M19s have any smoke, so we'll want to get them much further up. So I think I want to support from around this area. So let's move them into here. Just double check the range. So effective range, max range. Yeah, they should be able to cover anyone from there. And go on call. Bit of a weird path thing there. I think that's, again, it's our concealment SOP. So if we uncheck conceal, now they're going to take the roads and probably get their more reasonable time frame. Alrighty.
Yep.
So yeah, just a note on SOPs. It's a very fine-tuned system based on each scenario. Like units can be set up ahead of time by the designer. So in advance, this was set to be concealment, but that's why it's always good to double check your SOPs as soon as a unit comes in because you don't know exactly what it'll be set at. So all right, next armor. Let's move this formation quickly. Where should we put them? Well, we still have time where the enemy is not.
Yeah, we've scouted out the middle approach, so maybe go through the middle and then cut south to follow the where we sent those forward observers, and then our tanks could get up on the high ground overlooking the Soviet approach.
All right. So let's send them up through there. Screen. Although, would it be quicker to send this middle force down there and this new force?
Yes, it would.
Where these guys
Although
are.
the question is, what do we need where first?
Well, we
I don't
have.
think the Soviet.
Sorry.
I don't think they're going to show up to the south for what do we got?
About an hour.
Probably an hour and a half or two. I would leave it as is because then the middle force will be deployable against Fulda first, which I think is the first need.
Okay. Well, let's just send these guys down there. We'll see. Because you never know. Like, with that timing, will the recon elements arrive even earlier than that? I don't know. But. Okay. Let's set our HQ over there.
Oh, and Kevin is pointing out that if you right click the waypoint, that's a quicker way to take concealment off or on.
Oh. I did not even know that. Thanks, Kevin. Right click the waypoint now. Cool.
Well, and I'm not going to mention the several things you've done that I haven't done because that would embarrass me.
Well, there's a lot to this game, a lot of depth, and this is a great demo of that, right? So, okay. It's more than one way to whittle a stick. I don't know. All right. So I think we got a decent view from up here to cut off anyone's coming up. And so if I right click this, can I give them? No, I can't give them like a hold on there. So if I hit F4, I can go in now. I can modify this. I don't want them to screen. I want them to hold there. Apply, because that will help them dig in sooner.
Yep.
Okay, so we got this tank going here. Let's hold. And our HQ will keep screened. And then this tank is... we will also hold. Okay. So that looks like, looking at our paths here, it looks like everyone's committed, although we haven't moved these guys up yet. They're still kind of on the move. Why don't we just adjust their endpoints a little more aggressively here. So, okay, let's test this out, Kevin. Right click on the waypoint, use roads. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Good job. All right. Use roads. Oh, so much better. Okay. We'll keep our HQ back, and we'll send this guy up just up here. Be prepared to move. Keep him. So, okay, this is our... got some infantry here. Guess we're not going to see much, so let's keep them all screened for now, because we'll probably move them, advance them towards Fulda as needed. Maybe get in these villages, these towns, for some cover. All right, we have this scout up here, so we still haven't cleared this hill. So once that Kiowa just double checks that this is clear, that Gary loses the bet, and we can move this Bradley further up. Maybe scouting, clearing the what is this, Heimbach, before our armor arrives there. So, okay, let's hit start. Let's check on the chat. Bad Optics is still with us. What is he dying for? Shift click a hex to check his spotting in a hex he's not yet in. Spotting as in I can be seen or see who I can see. I click and see what I can see all the time. I never check if I'm spottable. I don't think I've ever really used that in practice. Oh yeah, I've seen the... it works all over this. Okay. Oh. I use the line of sight all the time for where I'm going. I just, don't see what...
Did you notice our first contact?
Oh, no. I didn't. I was looking at the chat. But I will show people how we can see that. Intelligence.
I know what hex it's in if you need it.
Oh, wait, not intelligence. It's ops. If we open up our ops and map overlay, there we go. I love this map overlay. This is one of my favorite features. Honestly, I wish I could have this map overlay right where that mini map is. That'd be so handy. But
Kevin,
improvement, Jira, wish list. Alrighty. We don't know exactly what it is yet, but it is something. I can't tell exactly which hex either. So let's see. What does intelligence do we?
It is in 3920. Nope, 3919.
Here we go. Yeah. So same thing. If we check our intelligence enemy sit rep situation report, we got the exact hex there, so we can hit it. Let's hit. Let's flash that again. Okay. Got it. This one. Let's get some artillery opening up. So,
Are we at the? Yeah, we are. I would hit it from each battery because it's going to try to move as soon as you hit it. So if you
oops,
give a 2-minute bombardment from each gun, then we'll get. Nope.
I'm on the wrong hex.
Yep,
That
one
one.
bridge up,
Oh, 100. Oh, yeah.
one
This is why I
road
have
up.
a 2IC. Otherwise, I'm. There we go. That's
There you
it,
go.
right? 3919. So, yeah, 3919. I can see at the bottom right there. And here, overlay 3919. All right.
I don't believe it was moving bad optics. I thought it was stationary. I didn't see a arrow on it.
So it'll start at 0511. Let's hit it. Do you know the difference between suppression and neutralizing? Honestly, I don't. Is
I
it just a
do.
timing thing?
There's some internal debate over it. Charles brought it up a couple months ago. I generally just do neutralization.
Yeah, me too. And I noticed though when I do suppression that the duration usually lasts longer. So I think maybe it's just trying to spread it out. Okay, yeah. Band just one put more rounds in a shorter amount of time. How much ammo they use as far as that? Oh, yeah, that's Eric. Thank you, Eric. Alrighty, so we can adjust. Yeah, if we want it, we can adjust more or less rounds in a barrage. We can send all of them, all 216 high explosive rounds. We can space it out. So let's do one suppression. And also time of impact. I've adjusted this. So the first time of impact was 0511. And so I've set this to 0520 because I believe the other one, yeah, it's done at 0511. Start 0506. So if we time them right, we can just do one after the other. No, it's
Well,
0520. So let's start it at 0510 and
yeah.
then we'll just roll the barrage.
Well, if you stretch it out, then they've got a chance to relocate, unless we have the hex under observation, and then we would see them move.
Okay, well maybe we need to
Um,
send this guy up.
well, you could just send that helicopter
Well,
to fly over the bridge
where'd he go? Where's my
northeast of Fulda.
chopper?
Northeast of Fulda.
Oh, there's on southeast. There. Okay, let's do. Why don't we do like? Okay, are we doing another bet? Because you lost the last one. There's nobody on these hills. But
They're
is
hiding
there
really well.
air defense in Fulda? Do
They're
we
having vodka and borscht, and they're having a little picnic.
send the chopper right over Fulda? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, I think we would have seen air defense if there was any, so I'm not worried about it now. Yes, no, waypoint 2, that's all we need. Park
Okay.
him there, and then when he starts to move, the further barrages will be directed towards him.
Okay. Maybe I'll put him over here then, out of the boom part. All right. We also have this observer we could move up.
Our artillery only has HE, right?
Yes, currently in this scenario, yes.
I think if we want smoke, we need to get the mortars up closer.
Yeah, he's on the way and just at a max range. So, alrighty. So we've got our fire mission set up. Let's continue on. So our northern group, or troop I should say, is on the move still. We could start moving this scout. Let's just move him up a couple hexes. Move deliberate. Okay, Kevin, you said unit overlay. Oh, I have to get out of this menu, I'm sure. Oh, commit screen. So I'm on that hex. Unit overlay spottable from. Okay, yeah, it does tell you. Cool. I learned something new today. All right, let's uncheck that. So we got our scout moving up. Armor moving around into position to move through the city or town of Fulda. This observer is not doing much. Didn't see much of anything, so we could reposition them. Same with this one, especially if we want. Yeah, I think I want some eyes further up. I want to get as far ahead as we can and see along these objectives. So let's move them. Well, you can see a little bit, not quite as far as objective. Okay, let's pop them in here for now. Direct line. And our observer. Move deliberate. I'll move them down here. Yeah, they can see a bit down that river valley. Screen. Okay.
Aren't they kind of masked in there?
Masked in where, sorry?
They're not going to. If you put the observers down there, it's kind of in a gulch. They're not going to see anything that the recon up on the.
They can see
I'm
down.
pointing at the screen like you can see me.
They can see closer to the objective. I'm gonna hide
Okay.
the.
I would put them in the end of that city so they're a little higher, have a little more elevation.
In here?
But
then they
one
lose
hex
down.
south.
That's where this guy's going. So I'm just
Okay.
moving this guy up here to see, hopefully down to the bridge area, and
All right.
have a bit of overlapping coverage. All right, cool. So there we go. They're on the move. Oh, our high HQ arrived, and we never moved it. So this is where we are currently. We're in this hex. In this M577A2 C2V command vehicle. And so let's move up. We want to get closer so we can hear the battle. So let's move hasty. I think we'll locate right in the middle. Let's go hide in these woods.
As long as he's off a road. Okay.
I like camping, so
And
yeah.
before you start the next cycle, Kevin has a suggestion.
Try doing the spottable from and select the hexes where you think the enemy is. That will tell you how close you need to be. Okay. So we know the enemy is in here. Or you mean like... So on the bridge, spottable from... Yeah, spottable from there and up here. So where do we need to be? Yeah, we should be able to see it potentially. Okay. Good to know. Now hopefully the sound will go off this time. Because let me just double check. Why does that keep getting unchecked? Okay, proceed. Let's start. And go. Okay, now I hear them. Good. Alright, I'll take my... You keep your eye on the map. I'll look at the chat.
Roger.
Hoffman wanted me to send everything all at once in terms of artillery. Oh, we see more units. Okay.
Air defense on the hill.
Hey, I didn't hear
I'm
that
surprised
barrage.
it didn't fire.
Something's up with my audio. I wonder if it's related to streaming or maybe Slack. I don't know. But, oh, we got tanks.
They look like 72s, right?
T-64 is here. Oh, look at,
Oh,
we just destroyed some of that motor rifle squad. Beautiful. Okay, so there's tanks and infantry.
wow, that infantry is not relocating.
Nope,
They're
it's
just they're
dug
just gonna
in.
die.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm commanding them.
Alright, we're gonna want to hit those tanks. Something's up with the audio here. This I have not encountered this before, honestly, where the audio has stopped. I heard the initial movement of the units, but I'm not hearing barrages and further movement. So that's a new thing. Apologies if you're watching and in like, why can't I hear anything? 'Cause, yeah, the sound volumes keeps unchecking. Anyway, okay, we've got good audio, I swear.
Maybe we're not going to do it right now, but maybe it wants you to close and reload the game.
Yes, if I try turning it off and on again. Um,
Yes.
all right, so we saw some tanks over here. Let's pull up on our
Yep.
intelligence report.
Just
Enemy
on the other
sit
side of the
rep.
bridge.
1 to 5 tanks. That's the same old thing. That's not the same hex. Okay. Um, yeah, let's hit them with artillery.
Yep.
We definitely want to just keep them under
And I
fire.
wouldn't stretch it out all three at once so that they're affected as much as possible.
Okie dokie. Let's do 5 minutes, 30 rounds each. That's a neutralizing barrage right there. So we're going to have to either
Oh,
cancel, delete order, barrage. Oh, I have to hit apply first. And now I can do barrage. Let's hit that tank.
Bad Optics is pointing out the radio log could have some data for us, and I don't think we've talked about that
Correct.
yet.
That's a good point. Where is that? Is it in our ops?
The unit radio log.
Unit log. Show combined radio logs. There's another. Yeah, there's multiple logs here. So this is the one I mostly go to. Show combined radio logs. So
So the T-60, did we identify them as T-64s or just as
yes,
tanks?
T-64s. Yeah, and they were spotted by our helicopters. So we can narrow that down by clicking on them. We should have a. Shouldn't they have a spot in there somewhere? Well, anyway, I remember the hex. So.
Oh, it said one enemy unit spotted.
Oh, okay.
Right. That's all it said.
Oh, my chat was scrolled up. Alrighty, F7 over in the top. Let's hit F7. There it is. Okay, there's our log. Let's type in enemy and search text and see what happens there. No enemy unit spotted. Okay, that's good. Enemy unit spotted. There we go. 3922. No, that's where they were. Did they spot someone in Johannesburg? That's a good question.
The tanks were in 4118. I don't know why it's not showing up.
4118.
Yeah, you've got it.
Yeah, interesting. Maybe we're just better at spotting them than they are. So, alrighty. So you want all three? I guess we haven't encountered any artillery yet, so our counter battery is kind of just idle. Let's just do all three. Let's see if we can eliminate a tank platoon in a single barrage.
Yeah. You're only shooting how big are the barrages you've been sending?
30 each,
30?
so we're sending 90
5. Okay.
HEs in 5 minutes. Let's send our helicopter back. Maybe he'll be able to watch. Okay, now let's keep eye on everything else here. So we don't want to get tunnel vision. So I'm gonna keep our helicopter moving, cycling this southern portion. Just make sure we
The
catch the
helicopter is going
enemy.
to dance away when it sees them because of its standoff range.
Well, at least it'll indicate to us like, hey, there's enemy.
Okay.
There we go. And then it'll chill in those mountains. This unit is still on the move down south. What do we have? Artillery up here. This unit is also almost in position up north. These scouts are moving, and we have these ones still on the move, more or less. Okay. This scout, yeah, we can do something with him. We haven't done. Maybe we could send him up into Sickles and get some eyes on that former. I think there's a couple units still in there, so.
I would send them up to that hilltop first and get those recon forces that are having their picnic.
Okay, we'll see if they're up there. Let's see how spottable he is. Okay, not that bad. Good. All right, let's do it. And then these guys are in place, so we could move them up. We sent this Cairo has been all around here. I think this is a clear area, so if we stage some forces, Johannesburg kind of ready to go after that VP location, and in Harmers, kind of this is a good blocking position, I think. Maybe send our infantry up in these hills. I just don't want them to be all alone. Well, that's decent. So let's move them there. And hold. So dig in, get prepared to block. Send one tank up to Johannesburg. Hold for now. And let's send this one over here. Hold. Alright, so they're going to like dig in and hold. And then their HQ, I want to make sure they're still in range there. They are not going to be in range, so we need to move our HQ up to there, just barely in range. Screen. And then this forward observer, we could also move up because he's not really doing much. Why don't we move him into Sickles? Move deliberate. Screen.
Okay.
Because maybe he can get some eyes on this enemy unit up here. We can call in some more effective artillery. Maybe that mortar is kind of, yeah, might be able to reach out and touch him. So, okay. I think we are good for our next order cycle setup. Let's hit start and hope there's sound. Well, I heard movement, and then I heard no artillery fire. Good thing I got the pre-release beta at the top here.
Yep.
Because that's what we're looking at here. There is sound in the game, but right now we've got a pre-release beta version. If you're just joining us and you didn't hear already, November 20th is the launch date of Flashpoint Campaigns Cold War. So available on Matrix Store and Steam. We've got the... Actually, I'll bring up my QR code again. So you can wishlist us. I think this one takes you to Steam. But go to the Matrix Store, Slytherin Store. Oh, we got that tank in view briefly. Oh, okay, yeah, like Kiowa did the standoff range. That's why he's now getting out of dodge. But saw there were 4 tanks remaining. I think they start with 6 potentially. That might... Oh, we got contact. And immediately a barrage called in right on top of there. That's great. So as you can see, fire support control immediately called in a barrage from that mortar. Good stuff. We're taking out a few of those units. He's very spottable up there. That was high ground, eh? That's air defense. Is it? No, that's anti-tank.
I thought it was air defense, but it didn't fire at the Kiowa when it was a kilometer away. So
Yeah.
maybe it's
So air defense is likely all gone. Okay, there goes a mortar barrage. Successful. We got one hit. And our scout over here is engaged, so good spot. Okay, looks like two T-64s, two tanks are still remaining in that hex. So, okay, let's see who actually sees them. Spottable from... No. I want to click on this guy. Can I not click on this guy? Maybe not. If I hold shift, there we go. Okay. I don't know who's spotting this tank, but I'll take it. So, alrighty. It's our next command cycle. I didn't take a look at the chat. Anything interesting going on? Are the M1A1s or M1A1HAs? These are not the HAs. Checked those earlier. The HAs are worth like 200 points more, so I'm glad they're not because
they're the lesser variety.
Well, yeah, these are just the M1A1s worth
You
300
got a
odd points.
105, I think.
120 millimeter. I think it's just the armor is maybe slightly less than the HAs. Yeah. Alrighty, so this formation's still on the move. I guess if it's 20 minutes to 6, and that's when we estimate when the enemy cavalry arrives to try to save these doomed troops up here. So this unit looks like confirmed 2 BTRs, 230mm grenade launchers. There's still quite a few units there, but they took a hammering, so I hesitate to move our armor up because they could get taken out potentially. But we don't really have much else here.
Well,
we could just keep
move
bombarding
the
them.
infantry up there.
I think let's just keep hitting them with artillery. And then we'll move up our armor in the next command cycle and hopefully get this bridge and this objective, and we'll be in a good spot here for our assault on Fulda. So, oh, I forgot my camera's on. I'm like leaning into it. I'm gonna switch that back off again. But yeah, hopefully you get a chance to wishlist the game with that QR code up. Alrighty. So we'll leave this armor in place for now. Although, you know what? Okay. Why?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Let's move this one up.
I think we're wasting 20 minutes if we leave those tanks sitting there.
Yeah.
I would have them. Let's count on the artillery destroying that unit, and move our tanks up on top of that hill. Both hexes.
Okay. I'm going to move this one. I'm going to keep this one down low because I don't want to lose any time. Because if we need to go to the 1500 or the 500, then we'll keep one down low. Let's move this one up here, as you suggested. And we'll move this guy here. So we'll keep two up on the hill and have one down below. And our HQ, are you still in range? Yep. Okay. So they're good there. Alrighty, so we've got another barrage automatically called in on them, so that's great. Our fire support control. Let's take a look at that fire support menu. I don't think we've gone through that yet. So we can see here fire support assets. So there's a checkbox under FSCC control, so that's why it got called in. So if this was unchecked, that mortar barrage never would have initiated, and it shows who it's actually supporting. So any of these units can call in artillery from that mortar. The remainder currently has support of all units, so that's good. And then we still have time, just under an hour until our first air support comes in. And so that can also be FSCC controlled. Sometimes I never paid close attention, and it just like, as soon as the aircraft arrives, airstrike, because they call it in, because they had some targets waiting. So These are the two current fire missions. Tells us our duration, the rounds, type, where it's targeting. We've got a specific air support tab, which also gives us a rundown of the airspace control, what the weather's like. We have our counter battery, weapon radar scan is torn down the radar. Okay, so I think it's hiding right now, but hopefully it'll be back online soon. And then Fire Support Control Center will actually log these spotted targets, and it will prioritize them, and you will see sort of the queue of fire support targets. So right now we only see one target, basically. But you know what? We have some guns waiting to destroy those tanks. So let's keep going on that. Neutralize these T-64s, hopefully. Commit 5 minutes, 30 rounds. Good enough for me. Okay. Now we have weakened them. Now I feel like there was another infantry unit spotted up in this town. So let's go back
Check
to our
the.
enemy sit rep. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So there's one that's just west of this 500 objective, it looks like.
I only remember the three. You think there's one?
Yeah, you see that other one just northwest of the tanks? So why don't we hit that hex just in case?
3916.
Correct. So let's
Okay.
hit that with a suppression, 15 minutes or so, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, now I wonder if we should start moving up these guys. We have 2 mechanized infantry squads with 4 Bradleys. I think we can start taking this bridge. So let's. I
Do we
don't.
want to?
Hmm?
Do we want to dump some smoke up north from the mortar, or does the mortar have a job already?
Mortar's hitting that ridge line with those 2 guys. So, but smoke is a very smart idea. So I think we'll do that. But I'm just gonna move these guys a little bit, not quite all the way. Um, but yeah, why don't we? Since we're saturating the hill with the other artillery, we can cancel this order. Apply. Go to
I,
barrage.
I would suggest 3913 and 3812. They're both northwest of those two on the hill.
38, 30. Sorry?
I'm talking about the tanks moving up on the north end
Oh,
of the city.
those ones. Okay, I was thinking covering this infantry approach. Okay,
Either one would be useful.
why don't we do both? All right, one up for the tanks and one. It's hard to decide on. Let's just put it right on top of them and apply. Nope, commit. Nope, at least one target. Oop, did I hit apply and then it disappeared? Okay, try that again. Commit. So by default it's going to be barrage HE, but we can change the ammunition here to smokin'. I'm going to reduce the amount of smoke because I don't think we need 30 rounds to get enough coverage, and reduce the time.
Yeah, make sure it's minimal time.
5 minutes, 15 rounds.
Is that as low as we can go? I would do it at 2 minutes.
Okay.
Because the tanks are going to be moving before.
Yeah, we also want it to last long. I don't want it to all just dissipate. Okay. There we go. Alright, Bad Optics also giving us advice. Adjust your smoke because it will use too many rounds. Yes, reduce the rounds, reduce the time. Yeah, we're good to go. Okay, so we have this infantry moving up. We should probably give it some tank support. So I'm going to move this guy up with them. Maybe up to here. And then this infantry, we're going to leave hanging back for now. Although, what hex
Do
is
our
here?
tanks have a minimum range set? Because we don't want them to run over a hidden infantry unit.
A minimum range. In the recipes?
Well, yeah. Because The
You mean
surest way to
stand
kill
up range?
them is RPGs. I
Okay.
would set it for one.
Okay. Well, we can set that to all the other tanks as well if we want to create a general rule. So why don't we try that just to demo that again. So here is when we're applying this SOP to multiple units, you can deselect. So maybe just deselect HQ. Those ones will have tanks in them. So all these tanks are selected. Proceed. It will give identical orders here. So that is good. Okay, so we've got artillery firing. We've got the north moving in. We've got these scouts just hanging out, but that's fine. Barrage of smoke from the mortar.
Do we have all of our ground units in, or are they still?
Yes, I think this is all we get. So if we check
Okay.
reinforcement withdrawals, we're going to get a FARP in 23 minutes. So that is a forward air resupply point for our attack helicopters, which will be in 79 minutes. And soon we'll have air support, and then the air support withdraws, but we get to keep our helicopters. But they eat up the ammo, and we'll have to resupply it, and it take a while. So, alrighty, these guys still moving. Okay. Or our Kiowas, Folda or bust, correct. Okay, let's get these guys moving again, because why don't we just send one nice little recon grid of around here. Just make sure there's no like artillery setting up or something. And back over here, basically do a loop. And let's send this guy. You know what? I'm gonna edit his SOP and future orders. Take down this standoff range because maybe he can keep eyes on. He will still withdraw if he's taking any fire, but if we send him back into this town to just scout out what's going on over here, do these helicopters help guide in artillery to be more accurate? That's a big question. I thought so. Like if you have reconnaissance observing the enemy,
If you have eyes on,
certainly the forward
I think it does.
observers. Well, Kevin, thank you for the advice of don't put your helos on 0 hex standoff, but I just want to see what happens. Okay, that's the point of wargaming, right? Let's just see what happens. This is the time to challenge your course of action and see what happens. All right, I think we're all set. Let's just carry on.
Okay.
Kevin confirming, yes, any observer will give you an accuracy bonus. Does not have to be the FO specifically, the forward observer. Great, so, oh, our tanks are engaging.
Well, Bradley's.
Well, yeah, the Bradley is being shot at. Oh, there goes Oda Toe. T-64 is firing back. Smoke being deployed. All right, we hit another tank. Good. Looks like there's only one left. Oh, did you see that? Under the Kiowa? It looked like an HQ. I think we found the company HQ on this hex. Oh, there goes the last tank. Or maybe not the last tank. Still. So this number is not 100%. We don't know what we don't know. So it looks like there's still a tank there.
Well, if it disappears without a combat report, that's kind of a clue.
Yeah. Okay, there. Yeah, there's more infantry in there. Okay. 2 tanks. Oh, there they go. Yeah, we didn't get a confirmation on there, so that JIRA still applies to that.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're sitting on top of this hex with these guys.
And those original guys we bombarded.
Mm-hmm. But I noticed there was infantry next to the former tank platoon, so we're going to hit that next with artillery.
All right, I am officially prepared to admit that there were no scouts on that hilltop.
All right, you owe me a beer.
Done. When I take my tour of Oak Island, I'll stop by.
All right. right, another confirmed kill with that artillery on that infantry. Still 3 left. Could be vehicles, could be... Oh, our FARP has arrived. Our next command cycle's up. So let's take a look here. Looks like 2 BTRs, 2 motor rifle squads are still in that hex. Say again?
Have we still taken no casualties?
If we haven't, that would be like a first for me. It is live streaming luck. Okay, where do we look? Personnel and logistics. Or you know what? Better locate is let's look at our points here. Yeah, 100%. We have not taken a single casualty. We have 100% of our points. So if even we lost one little guy, we would have. If we lost that Humvee, we would not be at 100%. We've taken out 5% of them. So yeah, this force in Fulda is this former force is tip of the iceberg for them. Oh, good. We have our tanks now. Our southern blocking force in position. We have these guys up here. These guys are in here. Our OH1. I feel like we could send our OH1 somewhere better. This is the
Agreed.
Commandos.
I can get headstrong, Kevin. We're invincible.
Planning and playing carefully, it has paid off, yes. Alright, so why don't we get risky and send this reconnaissance maybe across the river somehow. Get on up inside them. Let's see about that. Although... where could they? I guess I could go here, here. I want to park them up in here because they'll see everything.
Well, Bad Optics brought up something like a half hour ago. If the Soviets come up and take the A7 rather than the smaller road near the ridge, we're not in position to interdict them.
That's true.
So we might want to put like 2 infantry and an observer up on those hills just before the A7 gets to Fulda. And then they can slow them down and call in our artillery.
Like here? Where this...
A little further south, right where the Kiowa's arrow is ending. Yeah, I would set up infantry like in that hex, and then the next one northeast, so that they can double up on anything that tries to drive by.
That might be a little... that's a stretch. I don't know. Because we're running low on time. They're going to be coming any minute,
Right.
yeah. So by the time we get there, we could be exposed getting there. I think we're okay. Like, we at least have our northern approach that could advance to the A7, because it looks like not much else is inside of Fulda. We had a couple hexes spotted here, which I'll get artillery on. But if we can start moving these guys...
When you saw that HQ, how big was it? Was it like a
it was like
20-some unit?
No, it was like 2.
Oh.
I think it's just the company HQ.
All right.
Well, let's move this guy. Let's at least try. So get some more ground boots over here.
I'm stepping away for 90 seconds.
No problem. So let's just send this scout north and then down the A7 and maybe like here. That might be doable at the moment. So, yeah. Move hasty. And what time will you get there? So it's 0604. So that'll take about half an hour. Oh, I think they'll take contact, but we'll find out. I am now unsupervised. Yes. No, I got the chat to keep me in order. There's Kevin and Bad Optics are keeping me in line here. I won't make bad decisions. All right. So we have our mortar on call. We could use him to call in. So there's still 2 here. There's 3 here. That is artillery coming in. Let's double check our map overlay here for those locations of Yeah, the enemy HQ is roughly here, I believe. And there was another one just up here. So let's get one M109. Let's need to be mindful of our ammunition. We've had almost half of it expended on here. I'm going to delete that withdraw order, keep them on call, set to barrage. One here and one there. Commit. It's on suppression. Yeah, you know what? Let's just keep them under fire. There we go. And this one is scooting. So let's delete that order. Okay, so it's got the barrage order on top of there. So let's keep them on that.
Active.
And hello. I'm setting up some more artillery barrages here. Trying to hit the HQ that was spotted, although maybe it was on that hex. Let's just hit both. Okay. I'm going to move my Kiowa out of the line of fire. And Kevin, he didn't get shot down. Lucky Blue is a question. Are there any limits to where barrages can be targeted or just somewhere within the max range?
If it's within range of the piece, then you can hit it.
Yes. So max range ring, you can hit it, but whether you hit it well, that's the question. Hey, okay, that's our FARP. I thought for a minute that was our HQ. So this is the resupply point for our helicopters. And this is static. So when it comes in, notice how it says FARP static, you cannot move this. So if there are no orders, no ability to move that anywhere. Alrighty.
Hey, Kevin, let me ask you a question. And I guess I could type it, but I'm talking, so I'll talk. If you have your artillery piece and there is a level 5 hill 1 hex away, and your enemy is 5 levels down on the other side, you can still hit it, correct?
Oh, and Bad Optics also brought up a good point. You can't call it on friendly units. That is a very good point. We are working out a bug where sometimes the fire support control will call it continuously on the same unit as a friendly and call it off, but that'll be sorted before launch. So, alrighty, let's hit start. Again, I wish the audio was working, but we'll see.
Yes. Maybe it's because you're piping me in.
I'm not sure, because when I go to unit preferences, user preferences, it basically has it switched off, and I have to switch it on, but we hear it once and then it switches off, so I'm not sure what's going on. But I'm sure someone is doing a JIRA as we speak. Alright, the weather update gets you there. Okay, lots of fire. Got the mortars now coming in on top of that motor rifle squad. Oh, hit something. Hit a BTR. Destroyed. So you see the little puffs is just the rounds dropping, and then if you see a fireball explosion, that's a unit exploding. Whether it's a vehicle or even like a infantry squad or something, it will still have that same icon. So, animation.
It disappeared. It disappeared there. So that either means it's been reduced to a small enough number that it can't be spotted, or it's been destroyed.
Good point. Yes. And same with that unit on the hill. I don't know if we fully destroyed that or not yet. Didn't I move this Kiowa out of the way? No, I don't think I did. Crap.
Yeah, that's the ceiling Bad Optics.
Yeah, so that's probably not going to call it in, that artillery on there. Oh, I see contacts. We got contact. All right. Our blocking force is doing work, but they're taking fire. They just take, this looks like some anti-tank.
Hot dog.
BRDMs, so that's risky, but they got the jump on them, so. We also have some units moving up here. If you notice the bottom right side.
Those I think those were helos, considering the terrain they're moving
I think they'd be moving a lot quicker. I didn't see any helicopters in the threat assessment, so we might actually be lucky. They might not
over. Okay.
have some air assets. Um,
Is our artillery in range of that road they were taking?
good question, but if I can't see it, I can't hit it.
Oh, that that wouldn't stop me.
I,
I
yeah, look,
pulverize every
it's
hex someone can possibly be in.
okay.
I'm the arms manufacturer's best friend.
Well, I'm Canadian, and our forces might not have
Frugal.
the ammunition for that, but yeah, I just gotta be smarter. Alrighty, so our Bradley is moving without objection, so I think it's time to move our tanks through to these objectives. Seize the initiative of Fulda and hopefully get south of town far enough to
Yep.
basically create a big kill box here, a nice ring
Yep.
around the reinforcements. If they're
Get to
smart, they'll
get to the
flank because maybe they know where we're at now. They might try to avoid us and go further east. So I'll be prepared to use the NATO maneuver doctrine and ensure that we can block either way. So let's get these tanks a moving. Gonna move deliberate at this point instead of hasty because I don't want to lose anybody. But let's see here. We've got a Bradley moving for that objective. So let's move this guy over here. Take the 1500 points. Screen. That's an interesting maneuver. I'm going to right click on here. What happens if, okay, use concealment. That's a better path than I was expecting. Okay, now let's do this one. Let's just move them out in a line, basically. Wall of armor. Here. And maybe down there.
I would put at least one on 4114 because if we
Mm-hmm.
find any, we stumble across any units in the city, they'd be able to fire on them.
Yeah, let's see what their line of sight is like. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, cool. We'll keep that guy there. Let's hold him there because that's a good. We can see from that hex two objectives entirely and the approaches and this road as well. And that's where we spotted the HQ. Might be still somewhere around there. So it's a great spot. 2IC, good call. Kind of a weird path. Let's see what.
I would drive over it, really.
Yeah, let's see. But if I go
I
to.
think it's going around because it doesn't want to drive through the wreckage of the previous unit, but
It only saves a minute
that's,
by not going around, but let's just go direct
yeah,
path.
and that's cover.
Right. And the elevation adjustment and stuff. So okay, I want this guy. I want to get out of here. Let's try and spot the HQ. Should be somewhere around here.
Man, we need to be sure we have eyes on the southern roads too.
That's what this guy's for. So why don't we? There could be now air defense within those approaching units. So, but we gotta
I
find
would
out.
hover over 5531. That would have good visibility on all approaches.
55,
It is
31 here.
southeast, about 6 hexes from where it is.
Okay, I'm gonna do a loop though, cause I want to see if
Okay.
I'm gonna loop up over there and just get some eyes on maybe these approaches too, and then end up there. Yeah, because then we'll be able to see even further southeast and east. We'll see if they're trying to flank us. Excellent. All right, and it looks like this blocking force has no losses. We'll keep them there for now. Okay, is anyone not doing anything? Who's idle? These guys are good so far.
Mortars could get closer.
Yeah, more effective range. So let's move hasty. I'm gonna move them up here just below the Fulda Army airfield. set on call because from that hex, effective range, we got 2 objectives of effective range, and max, we can still hit anything coming up this road and support this infantry if they need it. Cool. Alrighty, these guys, these scouts are not doing much. We could send them up onto this hill as well. It's going to drive right through that objective. Hopefully these guys are dead, so why don't we send this one onto that objective. Screen, and we likely still have enemy here, so we should probably hit that with artillery. If anyone is available, this guy's still scooting, so let's cancel your scoot. Issue a barrage onto that hex just north of where those tanks were. We spotted one. Let's continue to suppress. I think that's doing all right. And then we're going to be down quite a bit of ammo. I'm going to expand the number of rounds.
Oh, maybe we should touch on the adjust and rest resupply SOP.
Yeah, so actually I was going to do that. Let's set up an order for that. Now, I know Kevin's watching, and this was sort of a bug, so if I cancel, I'm going to rest and resupply. By default it's 0 to 60, percent supply 100, but if I drop it to 99, that'll drop that down to 11. So like these aren't calculating immediately when I open the menu. But anyway, so let's do that. But I think you're talking about something else, aren't you? Isn't there a...
Yeah, if you...
Staff. Edit.
If you right-click...
Oh.
Right-click... Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, I was getting there a different one.
Right. So this menu, rest and resupply SOP, gives us a readiness trigger. So if our readiness, well, we're at 99, so we're not going to be anywhere near hitting 25, it will trigger the rest and resupply order. And ammo, so if it hits 25%, then it would trigger the rest and resupply. And that's on key ammo, so as long as it hits that. And we can also use this menu just like the SOPs, where we can apply this to other self-propelled artillery units, other selected units, or subordinates if it's an HQ. So yeah, I think I'll just leave it as is because it's a pretty good value. Yes, let's close that. Alrighty. So we have artillery dropping there, artillery dropping on the potential HQ, artillery dropping on this one, and this Kiowa's moving out of there. Got observer there, tanks are good. Okay, this scout's up here. Maybe we should move him kind of...
Where is the HQ for our artillery? Is it underneath one of the artillery?
Yes, I guess it's right here.
Okay.
It was scooting along with those ones for some reason. So.
All right.
Like
I thought it had driven off somewhere.
It's like, yeah, I'm done here. Okay, let's move this scout. Kind of maybe close a gap here because it's a Bradley. It still has ammo, still has those toes. It can cut off some approaching units as well. Why don't we just move it to there?
Yep.
And hold in place. I'm going to adjust this, avoid concealment. That'll be a quicker, most likely a quicker timing. Take about half hour to get there. Okay, looks good. Move deliberate. Yeah, I'm gonna move hasty just in case that makes a difference. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Yep, bad optics. Hasty the first move. I'm on it. Great. Let's now, I think we're good to go. Although, yeah, these Kiowas are set up. Okay, let's watch the battle unfold. Oh, those Abrams are taking some ATGMs, but still no casualties. Got more contacts down there. Alright, we have our aircraft. Fire support has arrived. We've taken the first objective in Fulda. Get those 500 points. Oh no, we just lost a helicopter. Oh boy. We lost our first.
From the HQ?
No,
Oh no, from
down in
those.
the center there. We've lost our first unit. It's Kiowa.
Yep.
But that looks like a
They're fired.
reconnaissance unit coming up there. But we've got these other guys southeast further. I wonder if that's the artillery. Oh, I see an HQ. Probably not the regimental HQ. Whoa, look at that. Yeah, I think they're flanking. Look at,
Oh, that's a big one.
oh, looks like our air support got called in. Let's see how they do. Boom, boom, boom.
Cool.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Where like if you got a nice spot right when they arrive, they'll just fly right to that target. And yeah, it looks like we got some enemy hit. That ATGM unit looks eliminated, hopefully, to our southwest. But yeah, we might have to move those tanks up. I don't know how much of their main force is going to come from that western approach. Looks like a flanking force. Okay, we got another 500 VP. Capturing objective in Fulda.
It kind of looks like everything west of Fulda needs to be east of Fulda as quickly as possible.
Yeah, but we still got these remnants here that are going to slow us down. Well, ooh, we lost another unit. Oh, and I
Two.
was wrong with the. Okay, there goes the ATGM. BRDM blew up. Got another 1500 VP. Excellent. Taking more fire. So yeah, we're gonna have to clear out those enemy before we can really move our forces across and down Fulda. But yeah, we get our defensive posture. We're just gonna have to kind of protect these VP locations and be in a spot for them to just walk into our kill boxes. So okay. So their force is definitely flanking up this way through Weyhers and Dietershausen. We've got one scout here. Doesn't really have the best eyes on. Let's see what we can do with that.
Yep. Bad optics is correct there.
Well, this is a 10% cover, 20% concealment, so I don't want to risk them. They'll just get chewed up. But what can they see from where they are? I guess not too much. What if we could sneak them? Yeah, what if we could sneak them up around here onto this, and then they get this nice line of sight that they might be hidden from these hills and these trees. So let's try and get them there. Be a bit bold. Now let's tell them to hold. And so if they dig in, they might be able to do some damage here. So yeah, move hasty, move hasty. Only take them 10 minutes. I think that'll be a good. Ooh, it's gonna be risky.
Now, where's their
Sorry?
where's their HQ? Because they're going to need the resupply pretty soon.
Yeah, you're right. They're still green. Does that mean they're within range? No, range HQ 21 out of. I think they're the high HQ.
Oh, because they're recon.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we're good.
they've got a long range.
Okay. Did we lose our other Kyle? No, he's still here. Okay. That's going to be hard to preserve this one. Where can we get some eyes on this approach? Okay, you go here. Please don't die. Now this recon unit could be useful, I think, still set up around this location. This guy was good. He was hitting something. Now we could, yeah, you know what? I'm going to move this guy Just going to do move deliberate just in case, but we've taken out most of their units in Fulda, I believe. And so if we start moving him over here, we can potentially block and help out this scout. So I guess this would just mostly cover if they are going to come down this direction. So why don't we just pop them there for now, screen in case we need to move them again. And let's double check our timings here. So it'll take about half an hour for them to make that maneuver. If we move hasty, that does cut down the time a little bit. If we move hasty again, another 2 minutes knocked off. You know, I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to set back to move deliberate. Okay. So
what is the unit we have in 2830 to the southwest? South
that's the
there.
HQ for this element here.
All right. I'm going to suggest something very dangerous.
Uh-oh.
That those forward observers that I callously disregarded their safety, I would send them southeast into those hills and send the HQ to take up their position overlooking that roadway.
All right, 2IC. You got those letters prepped. So these hills are even further.
Further south, so that they can see, because all we care about from them is where can we launch the artillery.
Right.
So wherever they can see the most roads, that's probably a good spot.
Right about here? Or up one? I think there's a bit of lag from you watching.
South one, I'd say. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And they'll have to drive fast. But if we send that Recon HQ to take up their position, maybe we could try to move one or two of those M1s northeast.
Yeah.
Although I would leave one in position just because we don't know what's still coming.
Well, this one can see quite a bit south, so we could move this guy because he's kind of close to the road. But where? I think maybe here. Is there enough cover there? Okay, let's move him up there. There's that hex. And screen. Alright, and let's leave this one up here because he can help snipe. Okay. We shall see how that proceeds. Now, this guy here is... Well, he's covering this location, but I feel like we could do something with this tank.
You could just put him up on that rise 1 kilometer southeast.
It's going to be quite exposed, but he will see a lot, so... Okay. Well, let's do it.
What's our artillery doing right now?
Our artillery is called in on this hex, but we have our scout moving through it. There's only one. We could hit that guy, and I guess otherwise just on standby. So I'm going to move this one.
I think we should start turning a road into rubble even if we don't see units there.
Yeah, we could start hitting this one. We know that a unit is moving up that road. So,
yes, and that's exactly what I was going to suggest.
Well, one has been called down here already, so we know that that was... Okay.
What is that?
Also, they're red. They're losing a lot of ammo. This one's at 16%.
Peter's house.
Okay. We need to resupply. So we might have to just get that resupply before we can do anything with them. 40%, 47% ammo. What's this guy doing? Yeah, he's at 25% withdraw. Let's delete that order. Don't waste time. Then he's doing the barrage on there. I think we can just delete that, and we need to resupply. Okay. So artillery is temporarily offline, but we still have this lovely mortar. Why don't we hit this guy? There's no surprises on our tanks. Okay. Let's rock. Well, no, you know what? Let's keep moving up our tanks that are in town here. Haven't managed them yet. Because if we can move them into position to block the eastern approach, yeah, that might be a good spot. Oh, this one's even better.
I would send them to. Here, I'm clicking on your map. 4916, which I think you just selected, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
yep.
you did.
Okay, and I'm going to send this one down to the objective. And take that while we can.
Okay.
And screen.
There might still be an HQ in there somewhere.
I think he was up further here. I sent this Kiowa around to try to figure that out, but he hasn't spotted anything yet, so we'll see.
Okay.
Hopefully. Okay, otherwise, this tank is just screening here, so we should move him. Still have to clear the town, so move him in town, down on top of here. Let's see if that'll actually kill this one. Hopefully there's no RPGs by now. They should be short on ammo. 1 BTR, 1 motor rifle squad. Yeah, we'll find out. They might have expended all their ammo yet. So, also this infantry is still hanging back, so let's make them useful. Move up. Let's move up here, and let's ensure that this hex is clear, because I don't know if we've completely destroyed it. So, and then they can move on that final objective down below afterwards. Okay, let's start. Proceed. Yeah, bad objects. This is a bad example, or a good example of checking artillery, because you definitely want to stagger it instead of having them all resupply at once. So,
just scroll the screen a little more southeast.
Oops. Yeah, I'm still not hitting that road, but we're gonna see more targets shortly here. Oh yeah. Oh, look at them all. That is the whole main element. Did we just lose something? I was looking at the chat. Did we lose the Kiowas? No, they flew off map. Okay. Well, this Abrams cannot get to its location fast enough. Because, yeah, we definitely need some guns pointed east. So I think we may have overcommitted that element to the south. Although, oh, I spoke too soon. Look at that. We got some more. Another column coming up right here. I wonder if
Yep.
these Abrams can actually hit that. Because we got a lot of tanks in there.
Yep.
T-80s.
They're moving.
There's nothing. These are no T-64s anymore. Oh yeah, there's some air defense in there too. ZSU 23. Oh yeah, we got contact on that hex near Fulda. Took out one unit, subunit. Oh yes, Apaches have arrived. The air cavalry has arrived. Got fire support called in on that southwestern column now, and the nice. We took out their air defense just in time for our F-15 to come in. Should be there in a few minutes, although that should be withdrawing soon.
Now let's send in a manual order then.
But our next one's coming in 17 minutes. So, yeah, when do you withdraw? Should say somewhere here. Withdrawal in 47 minutes. Okay, we still have time on this guy. So he's good to go. Although I'm going to drag this way up. See if we can hit those. Oh, this guy's withdrawing. I don't want to do that. Let's adjust your SOPs.
Yeah,
Withdraw.
he needs to hunker down.
So I'm going to delete that order. Yes, just hold where you are, kind sir. And adjust SOP. Relocate stance only, right? And then
Yep.
the other way to adjust SOP up here, which is my preference. It's a standoff range. I think that might be triggering it. So future order is good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, other thing I want to do is they have Bradleys. So if they're on hide nearby, those Bradleys are doing nothing when those
Right.
recon elements are
They'll be the
dismounted.
first thing killed, but they need to be helping.
Exactly. So especially when this is what you're staring at. Oh, and you're the only one staring at them. Okay. Well, this Abrams will be able to reach out and touch something soon. So, whew, yeah, we're about to get into some hot water here. And then, yeah, this tank is on the move. It's gonna, whew, yeah. Okay, these guys can see him.
Fortunately, we got them moving last turn.
Yeah, exactly. Timing is everything. Planning and timing, anticipation. This guy is also in position to maybe hit this advancing column before we can get our other guys in position. I'm going to hold
And
here, and that will reduce
whether our
smoke.
artillery is refilled, reloaded, or not, we need to dump everything on those juicy targets.
We do need to start dumping some stuff. Okay. I want to also get these tanks in a better position. Now that we've captured this objective, we can see a lot from up here. But, okay. Let's move them here. And hold, actually. How long is that going to take you? 15-ish minutes. What if you move
Do it hasty. They've got cover and buildings.
No, it's the same difference.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Is it?
Curious.
Let's see if direct path makes a difference. No, they're just taking direct path going. Just driving through some buildings. Redecorating the town of Fulda with treads. Alright. These guys are going to be assaulting, well, not technically an assault, but attacking this one last unit there. Hopefully our odds are good and there's no ammo there on the enemy RPGs. Okay. I think... Oh, this guy's going to move up.
That infantry unit with 6 subunits, did that have 4 squads and 2 Bradleys, or 4 Bradleys and 2 squads?
4 Bradleys and 2 squads, I believe. I think it's undermanned. I think we could use some more infantry in there.
And that is a juicy anti-tank unit. We need to make sure they don't lose anything.
Right. But infantry to take out infantry is also what we need. So, okay, these guys are going through here and there. I don't know if we can afford to go that direction. Let's just go there. This one's on a screen order. I don't know if there's still an enemy in that position. These guys are doing nothing. We need to move you. Where can we also be effective on this flank? They're dismounted, so that's why I'm getting a more limited line of sight. But if I go to screen, it should now mount them up. If I go back here and take a look, yeah, there we go. Okay. Now we're talking. Let's move hasty. Good. We had this tank here. I think we can afford to move them up as well.
Yes.
What's this hill? Oh, yeah, let's put them up there.
And have that infantry dig in. They're in sentry.
Okay. Is that this one?
Nope, south of town.
Oh. Okay. Carriers when empty. Do not hide, please. Support. Yeah, we need that
I'm
one.
talking about Hex 4423.
4423. These guys? Oh yeah, I guess we got cavalry scout
Yes.
team. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold.
Have them dig in, make sure they're.
SOPs are set to support. Although there's got some machine guns on there, but um,
Oh, they're gonna relocate after receiving fire. Is that what we want?
let's just stance only and set them. Yeah, you are do or die now. Okay, let's see how we go.
I've
Oh,
got my condolence letters ready.
good. Oh, you know what we need to do? Set up our attack helicopters. Let's get you over here. Reach out and touch somebody. I don't
Yep.
know if they're going to actually see anything from there yet, but I just want to move them on the way. And then we'll send them on a hunt mission after. And then
also remember that we already took out air defense for that southern group.
That's right.
So
I'm just gonna
they're going to be vulnerable to the Apaches.
Hunt order. Where can you hit there? Okay, just go there. Fly across here. And there. They'll have the range advantage on that, so. Okay, and I think we're still resupplying. What's this guy at? 36%. This one's being called in. 4% ammo. Why are you still on bombard? I thought I canceled that. Delete.
Yeah.
Rest and resupply, please. I wonder if the FSCC called it in, even if it was on rest and resupply. I don't know. Kevin, look into that. Okay. I can't hit.
The other one that's resupplying that has some ammo.
This one?
36. I think we really need to drop it like at that intersection 4430.
4430.
It's real close to where you were.
44.
So,
this one. Okay.
East.
Yeah, seen.
Yes. I would drop artillery there. And since we have it in sight, it will be redirected to whoever's closest.
Right. Okay, let's try it. Okay, let's hit start. Let's get this ball rolling. This is the big battle coming up here. Alright, we are hitting. Oh, yeah, look at all those trucks blowing up down south here.
Excellent.
Ooh. Okay, we lost an infantry squad that was attacking that holdout. Artillery dropping onto a mortar. Enemy mortars there. Nice. Just took out a T-80 with a tow from that Bradley. Beautiful. I think the enemy has some artillery dropping as well now, so we have to figure out where they are. Maybe our Apaches can take him out. Oh, we just lost 2 Bradleys. 1 salvo from the T-80s there.
All right, that sucks.
But we are in a very good position points-wise because we are in the marginal win range at this point from all the objectives we captured and who we've taken out so far, because those T-80s are juicy targets too. So
yeah, I was too ambitious.
Oh, our mortar just took some counter battery fire, I believe. Lost our Cap Scout team. So yeah, these guys, you got some letters to write now, Gary.
all that wasted ammo on an empty hex
Yeah.
kills me.
Well, yeah, I was like, okay, I'll listen to you two,
No,
I see.
I fully expected they were going to utilize that intersection,
But we can see that
and
intersection clearly. They're not there.
they just they just started milling around instead of proceeding through it.
Yeah. Oh, we just popped another T-80. I can see that turret flying now. Okay, here we go. F-15 attacking ground targets.
Good.
Boom. Boom, boom. Boom. Alright, those T-80s are still advancing.
Interesting. It's
Oh, another two.
calling those paveway GBUs ATGMs.
Hmm. Oh, it just said AGM, air guided missile, I believe.
Oh,
Not anti-tank guided missile. Alright, we are stopping that T-80 attack in its tracks, I hope. Oh, we've got eyes on artillery. There's a self-propelled gun that just pulled out. Kind of spotted by the Kiowa, now it's unspotted, but oh, we lost another Bradley, but took out that T-80 exchanged. Okay, our
if we don't,
Apache's doing work now. Yes. Bye-bye, BMPs.
I'm really impressed with those 10 guys who are still holding their ground.
Alright, we got our second airstrike coming in immediately. Boom, boom, boom. More AGMs. Nice. Yeah, they've concentrated their troops there, and we are just hitting them from all directions. It's a good thing we moved our tanks off of that 1500 objective hex, because now they are dropping artillery on it. Ooh, we now have a fire-controlled barrage called. Took out some nice units.
Excellent.
Yeah, we are doing work. Upcomer Abrams. That's going to do some damage. Yep. I don't know what this little guy's doing down here. BTR 40 just driving through a kill box.
Yeah, he's gonna wish
He's
he'd
dodging.
chosen.
Just dodged 8 Abrams and 2 Apaches. Must be driving very quickly. Okay, I've got eyes on self-propelled artillery here. I think I'm going to send our Apache Bravo from up here. Although I can't forget, we had a armored column. They must be coming up through Dietershausen, maybe even to Deerlaus.
Yeah,
That's
they've got to
German,
be.
but they've got to be in this dead zone here because we can't see. I was anticipating them to come kind of further up, but I bet they're coming this direction. But we'll know as soon as they cross this
Yeah,
defilade here.
we're in position.
Well, we could be in better
Um,
position. We could have, but that's
in
dead ground.
so what is that?
Okay,
Petersburg hex 4813 northeast.
40.
Um, northeast of downtown Fulta.
Oh,
There's a unit up there that's on sentry. I think they should go on hold.
this one's on screen? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, screen sentry. That's like Civilization 2, I'm thinking.
Oh, and this HQ is way out of here, so let's just move you up into town. Okay. I'm just going to keep our artillery here under fire support control. 11% ammo, 16%.
Yeah, the FSCC is doing a good job.
19. Yeah, yeah, we've had some recent changes to that, and it's showing. So I'm going to leave our Kiowa there. He seems to be okay and spotting this artillery. So Our Apache's going to come down through right over, hopefully, their column. I don't know if they have air defense, so this is a risky maneuver, but maybe I should just change that. Can I add a waypoint? Edit waypoint. I don't know if I can add one or not, but okay, let's just delete this order. Issue a new one because I don't want to risk my Apaches too well. Okay, there we go.
Now they haven't fired anything yet, right?
The self-propelled
Those
or this Apache? No.
the Apaches.
Yeah, I think he's full ammo.
Good.
I'm gonna send my Kiowa risky maneuver, but recon by fire. Well, not by fire, by being fired on. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna keep these tanks watching east. If I have to, we can pull them down through this like this low ground to protect this flank, but this guy's moving into position. So is this one. Although it's not much of a position, but we'll find out. Okay, this guy finally took out that remnant, so let's move you onto the objective and hold it. This one is still entrenched.
No, I would push him further east after he gets there. The Bradleys.
Okay. This one? Yeah, we're going to need him. You are correct. I'm just going to delete that order.
Maybe put them in.
I was thinking up here. Because if the enemy comes up on this ridge line, they can protect it. Maybe down here.
Yeah, okay.
Just for now.
Okay, then.
And then we can. Yeah. I'll screen them, and then they'll be able to move quickly if needed. Okay. And who are you commanding? Let's move you up. Screen. This is our high HQ where we are currently residing. And okay. We have one lonely reconnaissance section cavalry scout team holding out against the entire force. They lost their Bradleys and rest in pieces. All right, let's just check over our victory conditions here because we've only lost 5% of our force. They have lost 72% of their force. We are in the marginal win range, and we could definitely push this. But unfortunately, my time is not unlimited, so we might have to end this game a little early. But I will play through the next couple cycles and see where we get.
Okay.
Let's push through. Watch these kill boxes. Oh, we just lost 2 Abrams down there, but they took out some BMPs. Yeah, because they're in the screen. They just moved up. This BTR-40 just speeding on through. Yeah, that Abrams is getting its work cut out for him. Another kill. Okay, we've spotted this column to the east of Fulda now. At least the advance element. The Kiowa's going right over top of it. Oh yeah, there it is. And we lost our 4 Abrams down there. Darn. But we did serious damage.
Yeah.
And definitely slowed them down.
That was probably, value-wise, that was probably an even exchange.
Yeah, we've taken out so many over there. Alright, looks like we found an HQ. That might be the artillery HQ that the Kiowa's on top of right now. Oh, okay, now their artillery is being attacked by our Apaches. That's 4 down, 4 self-propelled guns.
It bugs me when they don't fire on loaded BMPs, but I'm very happy when they fire on self-propelled artillery.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like we have another airstrike coming in. Oh, that Apache is earning its pay. Now headed to the FARP. took out some additional infantry with his chain gun on
They've
the
been
way.
strafing on the way over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is amazing. That is what I, yeah, that's how I expect an Apache to work. So that's great. We claimed another 500 points. We got this Apache hunting as well. Pop, pop, pop. Who needs sound effects? I could just do it myself. Pop, pop, boom, boom. Pew, pew. All right. Mortar's been called in but called off on that friendly hex. So if I move that Abrams out of there, we might be able to eliminate them. This Abrams up on this ridgeline is now taking artillery fire. It's very exposed, no cover. But he's been dug in long enough, hopefully, to defend there. Ooh, yeah, this Apache's coming in hunting. This infantry still mounted up. They dismounted now. Take another BMP. Another BMP. Got 2 airstrikes tentatively called in.
I never have that turned on. What do you do to show that purple airstrike
Oh,
region?
that's their overlay. That's always appeared for me. I'm not sure. Oh no!
It's never appeared for me.
Did you see that? It just happened to our scout team that was on
Yeah,
ambush.
yeah. We were so happy with where they were
It's
positioned.
like, oh yeah, I can just sneak up and flank them if they come right through here. But no. Well, he's taking out the infantry. Our Abrams are not on hold. They're on screen. They're about to be run into by 90-80s. They're withdrawing
Hey,
because
if
they
they
got that one
drive
hex
by up,
range. Oh, nice. We've got coverage from that ridge north. Excellent. Oh, boom. 3 T-80s down. Oh, we just traded 2 Abrams down. All right. That is intense. Okay. He's still screening. If I
oof,
hold him. Oh, this poor Bradley's still there. Our Abrams, I believe, our Apaches are headed back to the FARP for resupply.
yeah.
Yeah, they're both earned their pay today. How are our artillery? 100% ammo. Okay, let's go. I think we should drop it on this area. And let's tighten up that time frame. 5 minutes, because those units are on the move. And then these ones are still resupply. What are you at right now? 6%. Yeah, they've been 44%. Okay. I don't know if we're that desperate. Yeah, let's just keep them. We need the ammo. We might need it later. So, okay, this Abrams surprisingly survived that artillery bombardment. These guys are still in a good spot.
Yeah, if they're dug in, you
These
should have moved them.
ones still have that BTR 40 coming up on them, but let's just leave them there, I guess, because if we move, then we risk losing them like we did the last guys. So, oh,
Well,
this one's still hunting. Happy hunting.
what if? Okay, the Southern Abrams in 3133 to your left, up a little.
Yep.
Those guys, yes. If you have them move deliberate due northeast until they come to the end of their ridge, they might not draw fire and they might be in a position to shoot down. I would go one north of there.
There we go.
Well, no.
Okay.
Yes. If they move deliberate to there, they might not draw fire and they could be in a position to do something.
Okay. I'll just leave this one put for now.
Yes.
Okay. Kiowa, what are you doing? Let's move you to
Bad
maybe.
optics is mentioning a feature that we haven't brought up yet,
Oh.
whereas you can designate artillery support specific units.
Oh, I think I may have briefly touched on that when I was looking at the fire support menu, like
Okay.
the mortar, like this part. These ones are supporting all units, so yeah. And I know that there's another feature coming, hopefully, before release, fire support groups. So not entirely sure. I don't want to speak about how exactly that works, but that was, I think, also kind of related to that as well. Okay,
Do
this
you plan to
tank.
leave those?
Hmm.
Do you plan to leave those tanks on that infantry unit until they surrender?
Oh no, yeah. You know what? I wanted to move them because they are if
By
they should be
by
surrendering by
Fulda,
now.
yes.
Yeah, let's move them off, and then we can hit them with artillery. These guys are supposed to move on top and take them out, so we'll see what happens there.
Okay.
I think we might need to move these guys down a bit because it seems their attack is actually coming further to the southeast. So if we can cut them off, although we can, if we have to.
Hush, Kevin.
Oh, what's Kevin talking about?
We lost 10% of our force in the 20 minutes he was gone.
Yeah, more than that. All right. I guess, okay, I'm going to move this tank down to about here so we can at least protect our objective if we have to. And this unit, let's leave it as is just in case.
Yeah, they're going to go for that objective,
Mm-hmm.
so we should have something covering.
Yeah, so that's covering it. This one is in perfect position. This one could have a much better line of sight. I wonder if I'm just gonna move him one hex low.
When I play this scenario by myself, I have never taken all the objectives. I There's always something more important. So this is pretty impressive.
Yeah, when I was testing it out, I didn't get this far either. So I guess talking out loud with 2IC definitely helps. And maybe it's bad optics. He's a good luck charm. One of our most prolific beta testers, too. All right, we are in combat again. Okay, of course I move this unit, and now we have enemy advancing from the east. So, well, they're kind of going southeast. Boom, boom. Pew, pew. Uh-oh, we lost another Abrams. Oh, we got one left there. Nice. Okay, they have a lot of anti-tank missiles, but hopefully we can hold out because we're dug in.
Your
Nice.
audio is about 5 seconds ahead of the video. So
Oh,
when
for
I
you,
hear you
yeah.
respond to something, I think, oh, something's going to be killed.
Yeah. Oh, we lost an Abrams. Kaiwa's found the self-propelled artillery again. Ooh, fire mission down. The T-80s just took one out. That's great. More T-80s taken out. I don't even know who killed that guy. Ah, we lost another Abrams. But then they took out two BMPs. Three BMPs. That last holdout, Bradley, is doing well, being a cutoff. So we'll see. We are in tactical win territory now in terms of victory conditions. We can open this menu up and watch as we pop off some more Soviet armor. They're down to 46%. So if we actually, well, they're at 45
Wow.
now. If we get them down to, I guess 29, right? Like if it's below 30%, it'll be a sudden death.
Yeah.
Trigger sudden death. They'll be done. And ooh, how did they get all the way up there? Wow, they're approaching.
And
Okay,
I think that
airstrike.
tank, tank is toast.
The Abrams?
Yeah, the one that's withdrawing, trying to avoid the 120 guys coming out.
Oh, this airstrike is just taking out so many guys. Well, I don't know. It's when you got one left, sometimes you can really hold out, hiding in the wrecks. Oh, that enemy infantry is going for that 1500 location, but our, what's this guy? Another cavalry scout is doing some work. Stop it.
Uh,
Oh. I'm surprised that Apache. Oh, okay, that Apache, as soon as I say, is down, hit 25% ammo, so he's heading back to the FARP. Okay, we've got fire support coming down on that enemy infantry that was advancing for our objective. So that is handy. Ooh, we lost our, that Bradley finally was taken out by a mortar. And we lost our armor down there.
we need spotting there. That
Yeah,
helicopter should move.
this guy move up. I always do that. I always right click after the pop up. And okay, but I don't want to put him too far up, so let's just go there. Wow, right now we can't really see anybody except for one lonely unit in Fulda. So let's move you around. Let's go
And
scare the artillery. Maybe come up further this direction. Because I think their main assault is still coming up from this northeast vector. Sorry, southeast. Although we've chewed them up in the south middle. I think there's still, like after that airstrike kind of cleared, we lost sight and those helicopters pulled out, so yeah. But this tank has good coverage there. This guy's still watching the objective. I'm gonna set him to hold, and let's just triple check our SOPs. IFE attack, support passengers, good, okay. That's probably why they took out so many. Range to HQ is out of range. Let's figure out where his HQ is. So if we right click,
maybe just resubordinate them, whoever's closest.
you know what? I've never done that, but I'm just gonna move them up. Speed is of the essence here. It's past 5 p.m. and my family's getting hungry, so I gotta wrap up and win World War III in one swoop here. So,
Gotcha.
let's see. Okay, these tanks I think are still effective. This one less so, because that other guy snuck right by. So what if we move you up a little bit? Yeah, let's move him up one hex.
Yeah, and remember there's 10 or 20 guys hidden that are creeping up on the 1500 VP spot.
Yeah. So I'm trying to just get some more guns on that road here. Hopefully this guy moves quicker. I think he was in a hold position earlier. That's why it's taking so long to actually initiate that movement. Same with this one. You got to get out of there, and then these scouts can hopefully take out this last motor rifle squad. It's just, I hope he would withdraw or sorry, get overrun or surrender at this point. But they're probably set to do or die. Okay. I don't know if I need to really set many others up here. This guy's just still kind of chilling.
What's our artillery doing?
They were doing quite effective work with the fire support control. So it's dropping down on here. I think that's where those sneaky guys are, and it's watching us approach. So I think we're good. Let's run. Mortar called in. Okay, I got the artillery coming. Whoa, look at that. Just 12 BMPs just popped out of nowhere on top of our cavalry. Oh, they're dismounted. Those odds are not looking good. Yeah, there go 2 Bradleys down. One guy left. Probably the infantry. I got some effective artillery here, so hopefully... Ooh, our infantry are taking out some BMPs. Or are those BMDs? No, BMPs. It's been about 18 years since I did my vehicle recognition test on my infantry course, so I got perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, that. Oh no, we lost an Abrams. I'm like, yeah, he moved up. He's doing some work, and then dies. But still got 3 there. Okay, T-80s have moved up. Artillery's dropping immediately on top. That's awesome. Mortar's been called in, but it'll be called off because friendly's in that hex. It's called in again, but it'll probably get called off. This is a tight game. Although, not really, because we're got tactical win range. But, I mean, it's tense.
Yeah. Well,
We started off for so long, we didn't lose anybody. And then, of course, the main attack force comes. And, yeah. That's when their artillery shows up. Okay, yeah, the south, we still have some advancing enemy infantry, but our Abrams that we moved, you called position on that ridge line, are effective. So, good call, 2IC. Got some
even
more
a blind squirrel.
T80s. T80s moving up the A7. Wow, already. See, I just get so immersed in it. I'm like, oh, that's quick. Okay, now what do we do? These guys are, oh, I think they're black on ammo. Yeah, you've done good job. Can I just get you out of there?
If you try to move them, they'll die.
Well, they might die anyway.
Okay.
Because if I can't move them, I can't get artillery on that hex. Alright, we'll see what goes on. What's this Abrams doing? I thought I moved you.
Well, if overrun isn't working, then they will at least hold down those 80 guys and keep them from moving forward.
Yeah, true. Actually, I'm going to move this tank onto the objective because, yeah. I think if... I'm not going to end the game right now. I'm just going to try and hold out as long as I can. But if we did end the game now, it would likely be a win. We might get penalized. I don't know if we get penalized. Yeah, especially because we're holding all the objectives. Like, there's a radius around an objective, and if the enemy has more units, although they might have more units closer to this one, but it's based on VP counting, so it's a risk. Ooh, there's a unit down there. Okay. Anyway, how are our helicopters doing on our FARP? This one is 100% ammo. Let's go. Okay, hunt. We need some air cavalry to the rescue in this zone. Just come and hunt and hunt and hunt, please. Let's see how that goes. The other one's resupplying. Kiowa spotted. Just going to move it up here and over here. Okay. Otherwise, I think we're in a decent position. Let's go. Okay, we've lost our air support now. They've withdrawn, so we still have our Apaches as support.
They've got artillery active.
Yeah. Alright. I'm just going to enable my camera real quick because I've got the QR code. So if you're watching and you like what you're seeing, add us to the wish list on Steam here as the late day sun blinds me. But yeah, it's Flashpoint Campaigns Cold War. It's coming out on November 20th of this year by On Target Simulations, published by Matrix Games, and there is audio, yeah. For some reason the audio was cut off. I don't know if that's due to live streaming, but we'll look into that. Apologies for that. But we're still in pre-release beta here. A few weeks to fix everything. But yeah, over 100 scenarios, literally thousands of units in this game. Cold War gone hot in 1989, and lots of campaigns, and it's a lot of fun. If you're a war gamer, as I assume you are, this is one of those games that should be in your library. It's essential. But yes, I'm biased. I'm a producer on the game, but I'm relatively new to the wargaming genre. When did you start wargaming, Gary?
Oh golly,
Forever ago?
my first my first war game was Avalon Hill's War at Sea, which is World War II naval combat. Uh, Played that with a neighbor at about age 11.
Wow.
Then we moved on to Third Reich, which is much more complicated. Um, and after that, I played Bloody April, which is a Civil War game about the Battle of Shiloh. And so all of that was like by the time I was a freshman in school.
Wow. So yeah, you've been doing it for a while. Um, I've always liked strategy games like RTS and real-time tactical games. Love close combat series. Played a bunch of regiments. But as I get older, and of course first-person shooters, that's my background in the game industry. But it's always been realistic. It's always been military stuff. And so as I get older and kind of looking at the world and the way it's going, I'm like, I want to war game more. I think that's more appropriate for trying to get an understanding of tactics and strategy and all this good stuff. Whoa, and they've popped into Fulda proper now.
Wow.
Look at that. Snuck by. And yeah, our scout over here got overrun. But this Sol Abrams is holding off. Yes, that artillery. Did you see that? That was great. Well, you'll see it in 5 seconds. But anyway, yeah. So, but when I've come to Flashpoint campaigns and see the legacy of the releases from Red Storm and Southern Storm and all those previous launches, and just like it is a solid title, and this Cold War is kind of a culmination of that. It's taking all the feedback. It's dedicated team, many with military experience. So it's a reason why this Flashpoint campaign series is a professional war game, and that's what really attracted me to this title as well. So such deep simulation, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
The fact that the pros use it says a lot.
Yeah, and really it's down to, oh look, what's this? Oh, we win. We hit the 30%.
Oh, hot diggity.
Yes.
Just in time for dinner.
Just in time to make dinner. All right. We did it. So, the enemy has suffered losses and withdrawals exceeding 70% and is reorganizing on the battlefield. HQ orders you to hold position and await further orders. Inflicted losses of 13,000 and change VPs on the enemy. Secured victory location was 4,500. Wow, they had a lot near this objective, but we have slightly more, I guess, in terms of VP. So it's not number of units, it's actual value of those units, right?
Yeah, if it had been the last turn, we would have lost that central
this one
objective.
Yeah, well, let's end battle now. We've got a decisive win because of sudden death. We got the boost, so we got perfect score
What's
here.
the casualty count?
Yeah, let's go take a look. So after the game is over, we get to take a look at the butcher's bill, the casualty reports, and everything. So, and we get to see how the enemy ended up. So, still a lot of like units on the battlefield. Oop, I've got my survey pop up there. Gotta close that. Okay, so oh wow, look at that. Their HQ still alive, hiding in Fulda from that original 243rd company. Same with this one guy hanging out there. These guys were never overrun, so I'm surprised these two units didn't get overrun. But these ones snuck by. Got 3 T-80s up on the hill. Bunch of mortars back here. The artillery is back there. Okay, there's their HQs. So if we kept circling our Apache even further south here, we could have taken out their HQs. But
yeah, they really clustered them.
Mm-hmm. So Butcher's Bill, we can take a look at the graph charting, how many units did they start with, how many did they lose. So they only have 4 tanks out of 33 remaining. Yeah, we chewed them up. And there's Fallen Out and Destroyed, which doesn't matter as much with standalone scenarios because, it's kind of everyone's a loss. But that really matters when it comes to campaigns because you're working with one force from scenario to scenario. So if a unit is fallen out, there's a chance it'll get repaired and reinforced back into your roster, but if it's destroyed, it's gone. So, yeah. Wow.
So we lost 36, and they lost. Go further down.
Sorry, what? Oh.
What? I'm looking for their total of losses.
Don't we have to look at here, right?
Yes, a little further down. Keep going. There you go.
Destroyed 72.
250 some.
All right. Crazy
so
losses.
About an 8-to-1 kill ratio.
All right, that's the way we need it. Okay.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Gary. You were an effective 2IC. Not too many letters home to write, but we did have quite a few losses ourselves.
Glad I could be of service.
Alrighty. Well, once again, thanks everybody for joining us on the live stream today. I hesitate to switch to my camera view because the lighting is so awful right now, and in my eyes. But anyway, there's my lamp. So even that out. Thank you. Use the QR code next to me for wishlisting on Steam. We're also on the Matrix store right now. And yeah, November 20th is when you can play this game. Not sure if our beta test is still active in terms of bringing in new testers, but if it is, check it out on Matrix. We still have beta testers who are still active. So Bad Optics, we're still waiting on your reports and everything. We'll be testing up until launch, of course, and make the game better. But yeah, thanks everybody for joining us today. It was a lot of fun, and hope to see you again soon in the future. Yeah, Kevin says, I think there's a bit of time to join the beta still, but not a lot longer. Alrighty. Give you last 30 seconds to wishlist the game before I cut it off. But Gary, any last words of wisdom?
The best offense is a good defense. I'm going to reverse pen.
Yeah, force preservation. That is a big lesson and approach that we need to do with this game, right? Like protect those VPs because that's the difference maker in the end. And capture those objectives, but then hold them. Don't just keep pushing and killing. Alrighty. Thanks again, everybody. Hope to see you again soon in the future. And thanks to Slytherin for letting me take over your channel, streaming this game for the last few hours. It's been fun, and hope to do it again. See ya.